was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get with this.
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man. It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast, number 636. And I am your host, BENPAI, the underground kingpin of an international transgender prostitution ring. Foreshadowing. We'll get to that in a moment. Yes, joining us once again, we have Chesh and Steve McRae. Welcome.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, what up? It's me, ya boy.
Your boy. Holler at your boy.
Hey.
And your boy is your girl, according to Ben.
We're not sure what she is.
I
brought Moosehead today.
Yeah, that's hard to come by around here.
You know a moose can dive 20 feet underwater?
I also run at 60 miles an hour through brush.
Yeah. Moose would be a dope Navy SEAL. Like, if animals were Navy SEAls, train a moose.
Oh, yeah. There are situations in the past where somebody has managed to train and ride a moose, but it's not something they've been able to domesticate. Yet.
Being the operative word. Speaking of domestication.
Yes.
Ben.
Yes.
I hear you domesticated the velvet pickle.
Yeah, so basically what's going on here is Jared Genesis has exposed me for what I really am, which is an underground transgender prostitution kingpin that expects to pay my ladies of the evening in nothing more than a $200 steak meal.
I can confirm this, as I am part of the trans triad.
And I like steak, so I'm on board already.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve, you should transition and work for me. It's hot as fuck.
Do I get steak out of it? If I get steak out of it, I might
you'll get some
this.
steak, all right.
I'll take my wiener back for a ribeye.
I get some Billy steak. I don't want belly steak.
You want some long steak?
No, I think more like prime rib, maybe a nice New York cut.
You don't want some tube steak?
So I'll never get through this whole fucking story without
probably not.
He's got too much to handle with mine.
I'm just happy Ben's expanding. I like the fact he's doing some new entrepreneurial
I'm an entrepreneur.
Type stuff. Yeah, I think it's brilliant.
So Jared, he made a video exposing me. He exposed all of that stuff that you just heard. He doxed an address, which I will never. I will neither confirm nor deny its veracity. I will not do that.
Address.
But I mean, some people have suggested that maybe that video should probably be reported to YouTube. I don't know. Maybe it might be a TOS violation.
You mean you can't pimp out trans girls on YouTube?
Well, I wasn't doing that on YouTube. I was doing it behind closed doors.
From the privacy of your own.
And somehow, dude, Jared, he's such a good fucking detective. Somehow he just figured it all out, and I'm like, what the fuck? He just blew me away, man. I don't know what to do anymore. I might as well turn myself in.
You know, Ben.
How did he find out about it?
In one of those basements with one of those like pegs and the strings all hanging around.
What's his thought process here?
He has a group of minor attracted persons that do his dirty work for him.
Maps?
Oh, maps?
Maps.
Yeah.
Like legit?
Legit, maps? Yeah, it's sick. Ben, I just want to remind you, near the end of the last episode.
Are we going to talk about mooses now?
No.
Oh, okay. We're talking about dicks now?
No.
Okay. No. I'm just trying to catch you before we get there.
Near the end of the last episode, you were going on about something that I don't want to talk about anymore.
Then why are you bringing it up?
May have had to do with my driving, but we're not going to talk about that. And I told you I could leak some information to the world that you wouldn't want out there.
Sounds like I
just want to say, Ben, this was the first shot back.
Oh, yeah?
You talk any more about my...
You were hanging out with Jared and his map friends, and you helped him dox me? Now listen,
you talk anymore
your
about
shitty
my
driving
driving
isn't a secret. Anyone who sees you fucking drive knows how bad of a fucking
The
driver you
Velvet
are.
Pickle was the first shot, Ben.
And you play fucking Pokemon Go. Of course, Billy the Fridge is going to somehow make this story about him. Never fails. Never fucking fails. No, Brian, this isn't enough about me enough. Let's talk about mooses.
Okay, let's talk more about Ben's trans prostitutes.
I haven't even got to begin talking about it.
That's the episode, yes, Billy.
This is gonna come up in top 10 anime betrayals.
was Billy Jared's source on this, Ben?
I don't know. Let's see what happens if we keep talking about my Pokemon Go.
Yeah, stop driving while playing Pokemon Go. You fucking suck at driving anyway.
Stop
so you're
pimping
putting
out-
everyone's life in danger every time you drive.
Stop pimping out
You
trans
stare at your
girls,
phone.
Ben. Stop pimping out trans girls.
You stare at your fucking
Okay, keep
phone.
talking about it. This was your warning
keep
shot.
talking about it. I'm
Keep talking
louder,
about
so
it.
I'm right. So, yeah.
Okay.
So, Billy, you suck at driving anyway, but then you stare at your phone about 50% of the time while you're driving, too.
Driving is
which makes
so boring. You're lucky I only look 50% of the time.
Boredom is the sign of a weak mind.
It's not true.
Yes. If you
Bad
allowed
driver,
yourself...
apparently.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking... it's pretty terrible. Anyway, yeah, American Nightmare. He's going to get some of his cop buddies, that might be low on their quotas around here. Anyway, though, forget about what this horrible driver, future vehicular manslaughter.
Let's talk more about the Velvet Pickle that Ben's pimping out at the fucking...
I don't care.
At the
I don't
Buzz
care.
Inn Steakhouse.
I only import the finest Thai lady boys, okay, everybody? I only import the finest Thai lady boys, and they better have a ween. If they don't, I'm going to fucking sew one on. Because my bitches got
that's where...
one thing in common.
Long pork?
You're making this about you again?
I mean, I'm not a short order cook. I can serve you some long pork.
I mean, Steve can probably confirm this. You were just on vacation there, weren't you?
Thailand?
No, Ben's
been to Thailand.
business. You
I
were
was-
visiting Ben's
I was in
business.
LA, yeah. Oh, is that where you have your girls from? Is that
I mean,
where
they're
the lady
all
boys at,
over,
LA?
man. I got
Okay,
a couple in each time zone. Girls.
I mean, if
Oh,
you really,
there you go.
do you want a franchise? I'm looking for expanding opportunities.
Okay.
We could work something out.
Yeah. Just as a warning, though, Jared Genesis might try to chase the business away. Because he's a man of character and principle, and he's not going to stand for all of this underground hooking that's going on. He has standards. Okay?
He wants it above ground?
He's too busy making sure all the bedrooms of the world are clean, except for his own. He is so philanthropic. He spends all of his time helping other people clean their room, so he has no time to take care of his own.
Don't you want a clean room?
We should set him up a session with Jordan Peterson.
He only has enough time to move one action figure per day.
Jordan Peterson had to go to rehab because he took a look at Jared Genesis' room and had a fucking meltdown. It's true.
Well, like I said, I'll loan you Chess, but she's not Thai. She's an honorary trans. We don't know which way she's transitioning because she doesn't want to say, and we're not going to ask her. But go ahead. She makes some money for us.
Thank you.
First live show in a while. Take my money, you dirty good boys.
Oh, thank you. Dirty good boys.
Dirty good boys.
Did Dana misgender you, Chesh?
No, probably not.
Well, I think she was encompassed with the dirty line at least. So,
she's a dirty boy.
So now that I've been found out, I'm going to move back in with my parents, and I'm going to stop streaming on this channel. I'm going to create a new channel with 100 subscribers, and I'm just going to stream shitty old video games off of a TV behind me on top of my old dresser.
Off of your Sega Dreamcast?
Yeah.
Living the dream. Living the dream.
Yep. That's
What's
what I'm going to do.
funny-
And I'm going to wear the same clothes for like a month straight.
Before
So
you,
are you gonna try and take the angry video game nerds audience?
No, I'm trans Jared. I'm transitioning into Jared.
Jared genitals. Before you moved the television here in the studio, this one over here,
Yeah.
it was up here on this dresser, and it looked strikingly like Jared's gamer setup.
Not really.
Yeah, dude, you had the dresser and the
Everything
TV.
looks like something else to you.
Oh
You just
my
make
God.
shit up all the time.
It's because I have
You gotta
an eye of an artist, dude. I see things that are connected to
Draw
the
me
rest
some
of the
art.
world.
Pareidolia.
That's not a dresser, guys. That's a mantle.
Sure.
There's a fireplace down here, but I
sound-
dedicate this entire room to this fucking show, so I don't get to use the fireplace down here because all this fucking shit is crammed into this fucking room, and you'd think Billy the Fridge would be appreciative of that, but he's not. He's always setting up some kind of funny ha-ha joke all the fucking time.
Jared Genesis calls his dresser a gaming station, so it's cool you call yours a mantle.
It is a mantle. There's a fireplace under it.
That's what a mantle is, yeah.
Right.
Okay, Jared Genesis.
So the thing about it is, though, I never filmed off of it. I just didn't have anywhere else to put it until I had this table here to put it there. Yeah.
You gotta get yourself a tube TV.
So Ben, are you gonna like tease us? Are you really gonna explain the origin for this? Because I'd like to know the backstory. I'm really kind of curious.
We're never gonna.
I mean, on Jared,
we're never gonna get there. But really,
on Jared altogether, or just on these recent events?
I know a little about the dude. I've heard some rumors and stuff. But how did he get to find out about your proclivities with being somehow the criminal mastermind of the underworld of the?
I mean, if we're gonna drop kayfabe, here. He saw a 2-year-old troll post of some troll posting a dumb story about how I can't leave the state of Washington because I was busted for running a underground transgender prostitution ring in which I only paid my women in the form of $200 steak dinners. No lie.
Which is currency in the trans community.
And he's like, the title of the video... The title of the video is Ben from the Drunken Peasants is a criminal. And like, that's the first thing he says in it. And then he claims I doxed someone that I didn't. There was some guy that he knows that was talking a bunch of shit to me. And I sent him a DM on Facebook. And I guess he thought no one could find his Facebook, but it was easy. So I was like, hey, how's it going, dude? Just wanted to address some of those things you were saying to me the other day.
What up, bro? You were talking shit.
So then he got all butthurt and told Jared, and Jared's like, I'm gonna dox him. So he doxed. I'm really scared, guys. He doxed me. I'm scared now. I'm scared.
I had to be careful not to accidentally dox myself today.
He can ride. Jared might be able to ride his bike up here or something.
I almost accidentally did. I was asked to during when I took over Steve's channel, right? You guys know this? Like, it's mine now.
What is it now?
Yeah.
I took over Steve's channel.
Oh,
it's
cool.
mine now. Like his personal channel. So not Non Sec, but his actual channel. It belongs to me. And so I decided that I was going to take his show and start a cooking show.
She did.
And I did.
Why does that sound so familiar?
I know, weird, right?
Wait, what was it called? What was it called? Chesh?
I think it was Chesh's Kitchen.
No, Cheshcraft.
Cheshcraft. Yeah. So my dog
one person their stream key and see what happens.
Right.
Don't give out your stream key to people. This is what happens. They take over.
Right. So I was already doing 95% of the work. Come on.
It's true.
I mean, 100%, right?
Now this really sounds familiar.
So yeah, and also
don't we fight like an old married couple?
Long story short, a bunch of people left negative messages on that video telling him what a dick he is for doing that. And by the time he woke up, probably around 5 p.m. his time, he went and deleted all of those. He deleted all the negative messages against him, all the negative comments, and he left the 3 like, "You're awesome, Jared. I love the way you talk about having sex with kids. That's awesome. Yeah, Jared."
There is a way to actually have a bot that will actually detect deleted comments and save them to a Discord.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Yeah, we have it running on multiple platforms right now, multiple channels. Like the Non Sequitur Show, that got over 1,000 comments deleted, and this captured the vast majority of them on Discord. And also there's a way to put them back in the video too, but that's a little more complicated, but it is doable.
Oh, I know why you started.
That'll probably happen later.
I know why you started doing that. So can we get an update on your whole situation with your Non Sequitur and all of that?
Yeah, so basically...
it all belongs to me now.
Yeah, it all belongs to Jess. We're just turning everything over to her because it's so much simpler. I did win the court case. Kyle cannot do anything as far as overturning it. He thinks he, for some reason, can, but Kyle seems to think a lot of things. But we did win. Now, what we're trying to do now is actually determine damages. There's two parts of that. One, we've asked for restitution of the channel and all related materials, which the court has in front of them now. The judge is going to sign that. Should have been today, but they didn't, so hopefully tomorrow. And also to turn over all books and all financial records. He has 14 days to do that. If he doesn't, then he's held in contempt properly, which is called civil contempt, which could be either a fine or jail time, because we need to ask for the court for a financial amount. And it's very difficult to do that when we don't have financial records. Now, if he turns over the other counts to us, I could probably make a good guesstimate, right? Because I generally know how much I'm due, plus pursuing for 3 times that amount, plus legal cost. And I do figure it should be around 6 figures minimum. So we're doing really well. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we've already won the case. The case is over as far as he is barred and an injunction against.
I mean, don't tell Kyle that, because he seems to think he can file an appeal.
Yeah, well, he
didn't even show up. He didn't even have a lawyer. He lied about having a lawyer.
He didn't have a CPA either. He lied about that.
Yeah, he seems to be under the impression that there's some kind of way that he can still fight this, or at least he's telling people that he can still fight this.
Yeah,
Anybody who believes him at this point is like, you've lost your mind.
He just needs to find all of the Dragon Balls. That's all he needs.
All this lying, do you think he's really gay?
Oh.
I've seen him kiss guys, but I don't know. Do you have to be
That
gay for
doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I've kissed guys. Wait.
Yeah.
Sean Hufford actually brought up a really good point the other day when we were talking about this, is that if Kyle's been lying about so much, was he really legally allowed to marry Casey and GE?
I mean,
yeah, think about that.
Isn't it mostly ceremonial anyways?
Yeah, I mean, didn't they have to go to like a courthouse and get a marriage license and stuff anyway?
He was the officiate, right?
Yeah, he officiated it, yeah.
But he has to be allowed to do that, doesn't he?
Yes, I believe so.
So if he's not allowed to do that, then they're technically not married, and that could get them into trouble when it comes to tax season or for whatever other logistical reasons.
God is gonna be pissed as fuck too.
Yo, God's gonna be so mad. So mad.
God's always getting pissed.
Yeah.
Fucking God. Settle down. Your temper's terrible.
But don't you think it's kind of a blight on the atheist community? I mean, here he was propped up as an atheist person of respect, I guess, among the atheist
skeptic advocate.
Yeah, I mean, he was on Atheist Experience Talk Heathen. He was at their the ACA. What do they call whatever they? I mean,
no, he wasn't. He was on the Atheist Experience, though. He didn't come on Talk Heathen, did he?
I'm not sure. They fell from the same office. I'm not quite sure. But he was propped up as an atheist in good standing. People loved him as an atheist, and all of a sudden he just fell from grace because he lied about literally everything, and I had to take him to court over something that could have been solved quite easily had he kept his promises to me. That was all I was asking for. What? God forbid I asked him to keep the word to me. Okay.
I'm disappointed in the ACA and the skeptics that haven't said anything about it, to be honest.
Not surprising.
They're just burying their heads about it. They're all like, I don't know what I'm talking about.
They don't seem to care. It does. If it was a theist, now Ben, let me ask you this: if Kyle was a theist and he had taken tens of thousands of dollars, I mean, there's probably $60,000 plus missing. If that was a theist that did that to their parishioners, do you not think atheists would be calling that person out, going, "Hey, this theist took money from his parishioners under false pretense, and it was
what a hypocrite." Yeah,
of course,
practically admitted.
Yeah, because I mean that's part of their shtick to show, to talk about hypocritical and immoral religious people, right?
So why don't they call it one of their own then? This is what I'm saying. Not many have. The only one that has was Atheist Edge, and maybe one or two others, but the rest didn't say anything. They didn't care. Oh, it's just Steve. Who cares? He's out tens of thousands of dollars. Oh, he's not really an atheist anyways. He's an agnostic, so who cares about him?
Yeah, you're just not pure enough, you fucking mudblood.
You can't say that, can you?
I'm not a pureblood.
Yeah.
Mudblood.
Yeah.
You fence sitter.
You'll never fully be one of us.
Yeah, I don't know where I fit in the world anymore. I'm
Does
so
it
confused.
Does it count as believing in God if you believe that you're God?
Why do you believe I'm God?
I believe I'm God, not you.
No, you said you're
me.
God.
Me, I'm the God.
You said you're God.
No, me.
Why do you think I'm God?
It was a misnomer.
Why do you think I'm your God?
Wrong.
Why do you think I'm your God,
God.
young Bill Fridge?
Deal with it.
Hey, guys, why can't it be both?
Ben's not my God.
I caught
You
him
can
before
both be
he could
your
do
own
it.
God, though.
Rude.
Or you can be each other's God.
You could be polytheist, you know.
I don't need another
I don't
God.
know why he thinks I'm his God.
I'm the God. I woke up
I
God.
don't know why he thinks I'm his God.
Oh, my God. Talking about me, not you.
There's a lot of deification going on in this episode. Holy
Same.
crap.
You're a
Cheshire,
God, and you're a God. Everyone's a God.
Are you a goddess?
I'm so used to
No.
like
I'm a goblin.
I'm just so used to what he's gonna say next. I just know it's gonna happen already. I knew he was gonna say that, but then he said, "If you're your God."
I was talking about the colloquial your. Do I know
Not
words?
the royal your.
The royal your. I don't know words.
Colloquial.
Colloquial. I can't pronounce it.
Is he colloquial? Is he running G-Man's argument?
Hocus
Yeah.
pocus alamagoquial.
G-Ben over here.
G-Man. G-Man is his own god.
Yeah.
Time out.
Embarrassing.
Time out. All right. Yeah, let's watch some DP action news. That's
He
fun.
called me sir and got me so fuming angry.
We're talking about Saudi Arabia all the time.
Wow. They're laughing at us, at our stupidity.
And you better well learn to love it.
A lot of people that looked up the address that Jared doxed of mine today noticed that my house happens to look like a frozen yogurt place.
Yeah.
And are you happy, Jared? You've exposed the fact that I live at a frozen yogurt place.
Yeah, where do you think Ben goes every time he leaves the room? He goes to get a little froyo.
Yeah.
He's got an addiction.
Yo, you are nothing but lies. Become ice cream or become gone.
I sleep in a 0-degree sleeping bag in the walk-in cooler.
Why do you think he hangs out with somebody named the Fridge?
The walk-in. All right.
Are we hearing just now? Is this breaking news that Ben actually sleeps inside of Billy?
Yeah, I'm his tauntaun.
Oh, I've known this for quite some time. Where have you been?
Yeah.
How can I get back there
Oh.
to the place
knew.
that I fell asleep inside you?
Weird. Why'd that give me a boner?
Why not?
Third Eye Blind does that. It has that effect on
He sings
people.
it when he goes to sleep.
All right, so there's a debate, and normally we'd be watching it and covering it, but I don't want to get a strike, so we learned our lesson, even though we should be allowed to do it.
We've been
You don't need a
spanked.
strike or cancer.
But yeah, you know what? I don't really give a shit because like half the people on the stage have no chance of being president anyway. They're just kind of taking up space. So I mean, whatever. Here it is. They're going to talk about. I guess people give a shit about healthcare now.
Yeah.
And that's what they're talking about. And the debates in my old town of Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the debate is. Yeah.
As we mentioned earlier, Democratic presidential candidates will debate in Ohio tonight. President Trump won the state in 2016. He beat
Look
Hillary
at that. All right. I'll tell you what. Ohio has decided the last 100 years of elections. Ohio has decided.
It sounds terribly unfair to the rest of the country. I've been to Ohio. Ohio. I was telling a story about Ohio before we went live about a couch full of cat turds.
Yeah, well.
Why is Ohio in charge?
I don't think it's Ohio. I think it's your choice of company, Billy the Fridge.
In Ohio?
Yeah.
You lived in Ohio.
Okay,
You got the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're in agreement here. Ohio should not be in control of the country.
Are we in agreement or an agreement?
An agreement. Fuck, I don't care. You know I don't care about words.
Now, it was your choice of company. I mean, we can go back to Battle Cam and confirm it was the choice of company, not Ohio as a location.
I mean, are you saying Ohio should hold our country hostage every fucking year for the last century?
I mean, that's a straw man. I'm not saying that at all.
Oh.
I didn't say that. I'm stating a fact that Ohio has chosen the president in the last 100 years of elections.
Yeah.
I don't think we should have the Electoral College. If that were the case, then Ohio wouldn't. But then it would be, California, Texas, New York that decides that kind of shit.
I would prefer that. That's where you got Velvet Pickle from.
Ooh.
From the southern Skid Row down in Los Angeles. That's where Velvet Pickle
From the
roamed.
frozen yogurt place.
Yeah.
Should the frozen yogurt industry get to decide who the president is?
Probably. They do sugar-free froyo.
Would they do a better job than Ohio?
Yeah, Menchie's would. I would let Menchie's run the country over Ohio.
Well, clearly, if they're having Trump
I
leading
mean,
right now.
Ohio is tied with another state that I can't remember right now for the most presidents ever being from their state.
Just over 50%
So Ohio
of
has
the vote.
literally
Joining
run the
me
country
from
multiple
Westerville,
times.
Ohio, is Seth Richardson. He is the lead
is this a fan of the
politics
show?
reporter for Cleveland.com and
Who
lead
is
writer
this?
for the
She's literally telling you who he is right now.
Pretty sure this guy's in chat right
She's
now.
literally saying who he is. And you're like, who is this?
This is one of our fans watching right now. How'd you get on the board of the CNN?
I don't think so.
Because he writes for Cleveland.com.
He looks like a Drunken Peasants fan. He just shaved his neck beard
really?
like a week ago.
Does he have like a ponytail in the back?
Of course he
Like,
does.
His hair's
Yeah,
like all
absolutely.
pulled
He's
slicked
going
back,
full
right?
pony
It's like
on
a
him.
and
long.
lead writer for the
Really
Flyover
with a
newsletter.
stash.
Thank you so much for being with us, Seth.
Thanks for having me.
So, in your latest piece for Cleveland.com, you argue that Democratic candidates tonight should take advantage of where the debate is being held. What do you mean by that?
Well, part of the reason that Democrats said they wanted to hold debates in places like Michigan and Ohio, and I assume we'll see some in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, of course we'll see some in Iowa, is because they really wanted to go there and touch on the issues and talk to the people who are there. They said in 2016 that they just didn't reach out to those voters, which is part of the reason why Trump won those states.
Yes, that is part of it, actually, because Hillary took a lot of those states for granted and thought she was just going to win. She lost.
Yeah, there was an issue with Democrats not going to where they needed to go, but also the media coverage of Trump at the time, wasn't there?
Yeah, but I think Hillary got she took a lot of those states for granted, just assuming based on polling and other information that she was just going to win those no matter what.
Yeah, they said that she really didn't utilize her time properly in certain states.
Yeah, so it was like what a mismanagement on her part and a mismanagement on the media's part.
Yeah,
because I know like the media straight up admitted that we gave Trump so much free airtime and it was way overkill.
I mean, Hillary was getting a ton of airtime too. They don't call CNN the Clinton News Network for nothing.
Trump was way more effective.
Because I don't know. This is only what I heard. I don't
Sure,
live in America.
Yeah.
Hillary didn't really have a base. Like everybody that was young and excited about the Democratic Party was Bernie in 2016. It was
right. Yeah.
The Bernie train was huge, and when he got ousted, all the young people were like, "Fuck this." And then Trump picked up some Bernie supporters. Probably, I'm sure he didn't pick up more Bernie supporters than Hillary did, but he picked up enough to put him in that zone.
I mean, look at the differential there.
I would be surprised.
That differential between Trump and Hillary. Trump had like 50-something%. Hillary had 30-something. Obama won Ohio both times easily. So that goes to show you how it'll swing back and forth so easily. You know?
So is it possible that, I mean, I'm just spitballing here. Is it reasonable to think that the young people were essentially like, either this, we're not voting, or just voted for Trump out of spite?
Trump won the states that he needed to win to get more electoral votes. Clinton still got more votes than Trump, but Trump got more votes where it counted. That's why our general elections are so weird. And that's why Ohio matters so much when it shouldn't matter more than it does. It's because a lot of the very high population states almost always go one way. California is almost always blue. Texas is almost always red. New York is almost always blue. It's like that. But then you have a state like Ohio that has 11 million people that goes either way all the time. So that's
what about Florida?
Florida's another one. Florida's another
swing
one.
over to Trump. That if Hillary would have won Florida, I think that's 49 electorates, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, wasn't there an
Been a
issue
game
with
changer.
gerrymandering as well when Trump was elected? Like, wasn't there like a huge controversy about how much gerrymandering was going on?
A lot of gerrymandering.
Yeah, but there was a
gerrymandering has more of an effect over like congressional districts than presidential districts.
Oh, see, I was under the impression that maybe I misunderstood what it was saying, that the electoral college, the gerrymandering, the electoral college is what assisted in Trump's victory.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I might have just misunderstood. Again, it's not my country. I might have just straight up misunderstood how it worked.
Yeah, gerrymandering is not really going to affect the national election as much as Jerry Springering is.
Former mayor of Cincinnati, Jerry Springer.
Yeah. He's going to run against Trump. He's going to come in last minute, take the fucking title.
Way.
He's taking the belt off Trump, man.
I'm looking at this polling here, and I notice Warren dipping back down again.
Yeah, look at her drop down, but look where she's at with this drop is still like
she'll come back up.
It's the highest she's still been, and you look at the drops before with Biden, where he's going up and down. He's got 3 peaks right in the last couple weeks there, where he's dropping, dipping, climbing. So if him and Warren can dance up and down for the next couple of months, she can still take him over, but. Who cares? Fucking this sucks. I'm looking at this.
I can't wait for it to be over already, and we still have a whole year, like November next year.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's still a year away, and this is already. Oh my God.
Over the next several months. Over the next several months, Democrats will vote for the candidate they want, and then they'll nominate a candidate for president. And then after that, in November, like right after the Democrats decide who they're running, that's when the actual campaigns will start between Trump and whoever they choose. And then at that point,
how do you guys get anything done?
We don't. It always swings one way and then it swings back the other way. People get tired of a Democrat being president, so they vote Republican, and then they get tired of Republicans, so they go back to Democrat, and they just go back and forth. We're stuck in time. The only thing that changes is that each side gets more and more polarized, so they're less and less willing to work with one another.
That sounds awful.
Well, I mean, you've heard of horseshoe theory, have you? Horseshoe theory basically states that as the political groups more divide, right? So you have Republicans on the right and Democrats on the left. The more they divide, they actually come around in more of a horseshoe shape and then kind of come more closer to each other. It's really hard to distinguish between them. That's why you have the alt right and the alt left, the more fringe things. But I don't think there's much difference between any of these politicians anymore. I really don't have an affinity for any one of them. I'll listen to Yang a little bit, but I've listened to what's his name, Adam Kokesh, right? Who we had on.
Adam Kokesh.
Oh God!
I mean, is that?
I've talked to him before.
Is that what America's putting up?
I didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah. Let's build roads by people just having slave labor. That works.
Oh my God. I don't understand. I don't, maybe it's because I don't come from a country that only has a 2-party system. Like, our system doesn't operate on 2 parties. When Trudeau was originally elected in, because we have our 2 main parties, right? We have the Liberals and the Conservatives, which is the Conservatives are your Republicans.
Yeah.
So our blue is your red.
Sure.
And those are our 2 main ones, but the Conservatives did so badly when Trudeau got voted in, the Liberal got voted in this year, that they didn't even get the opposition. The NDP got it. So essentially the way ours works is that if you don't keep your shit together, there is another fish waiting to eat you.
But another thing about your government is someone could be prime minister indefinitely as long as people keep voting for them. There's no term limit.
Why is that a problem?
It's very different from ours. You can't be president here for more than...
Yeah, so the reason why I'm asking is because if people are still voting for them, then the people still want them in. So why is them being in a...
Not necessarily.
Why would they need a limit, right? Like, I mean, I can understand having a term limit in a case of a 2-party system.
I mean, when
because
is it...
then you're...
I mean, eventually it becomes a dynasty, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
kind of like having your kids get elected or your wife get elected.
Because they still have to be elected in every time.
No, it's just the thing about having these limitations. We don't want dear leader, right? We don't want to have somebody that has taken politics to the professional level where they're the leader of America for an exceptional period of time. 8 years is more than enough. In fact, I would even argue probably too long. Because when you have somebody like Trump, do you really want Trump for 2 terms? Can you imagine 8 years total of it?
Well, I mean, if the people still wanted him in, then I don't really.
We don't have a democratic system here. We're not a democracy. We're a republic. That's not about the will of the people. People don't matter.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like ours is more based on if the people still want them to be in, then they can still be there.
Yeah,
and there are ways to force elections, but there are still elections held every cycle. So as long as the election is still getting, as long as the election is still legitimate and fair, then there isn't really a problem with the same person becoming prime minister.
Oh, I think there is. I think there's a lot.
We're so polarized. We're so polarized here that like. Instead of focusing on how to beat each other in the elections, our two parties are always trying to figure out loopholes to get each other kicked out of office. Like now with Trump, it's at first it was Russia, now it's Ukraine, and then Obama, it was like he wasn't born here. He wasn't born here. He can't be president. We got to find out that he wasn't born. I got to see that birth certificate. So yeah. So and then with Clinton, it was like he got a blowjob. He lied about getting a blowjob.
It just sounds like a whole lot of not getting stuff done. Oh yeah, it just sounds like a whole lot of not getting anything done. Like, and not to say that our system is much better at getting things done, but
my entire life.
Well, that's the illusion of a two-party system. It's the same fucking party. You just take turns dancing.
The differences are minute in the grand scheme of things.
It's a pendulum. It goes towards the left, then towards the right, then towards the left, towards the right. But the illusion that anything's actually changing. Like for a couple years,
very small things change.
For a couple years, the poor get a little extra food stamps, and then for a couple years, the rich get a floodgate open on their money making opportunities.
I've seen taxes swing back and forth.
I think it's more damage control. A president can only do so much. Congress has much more control because they control the purse strings, right? But for me, it's what president do I want in office that's not going to radically fuck things up too bad. That's my thing. It's not what they're going to do for the country. It's what they're not going to do to screw up the country geopolitically, like Trump has done in Turkey.
Oh, right.
Like
on a national level.
On the national level. I mean, his whole North Korea stance. I mean, it's just bizarre. I mean, he's just inept from the get-go. So I would like to see a president that doesn't do any of that. Paris Accord. Yeah. I mean, so I don't know. I'm just so against any politician being in office for an acceptable period of time for that very reason. And also people the longer you're in office, the more corrupt you tend to get. Right. So if you have the leader of the free world that's in the office more than 8 years, there's a high potentiality to become more corrupt. And I think that's one of the biggest concerns when the forefathers put in time limits is they don't want corruption. This is why the opposite things happen for the Supreme Court justices. They don't have term limits because they want to be free from and impartial and free from bias and having to worry about being reelected.
Could you imagine having Trump for the same amount of time that we had our longest prime minister for? Our longest prime minister held office for 3 non-consecutive terms for a total of 21 years and 154 days.
I wouldn't want that for America.
It was Mackenzie King, by the way, for anybody who cares.
It's funny how we have term limits to prevent corruption, but the last 40 years of presidents were voted in by the money of big business companies.
Yeah.
The corruption's
not
part of the president. They're funding it. Yeah, they're funding.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Just to step on people. Just let the
I'm not doing it on purpose.
Let the boy talk. Let the boy talk.
No, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say a thing. Jeez, Chesh, talk now or forever hold your peace.
If the Congress is the one who has the power, then why are you concerned about term limits for the president?
Because, again, the president can screw things up. It's not so much what they can do, it's what they can do.
Are there no term limits in Congress? Are there term limits?
There are no term limits for Congress or the Senate.
So would it be beneficial to add term limits to those two things?
But they've been trying to get Senate term limits for ages.
Right. So, how are you going to tell the people who are going to vote to end their term that they need to vote to end their term?
Before Justin Trudeau became prime minister, he was a drama teacher. I think that's one of the many reasons why he should have never ran for office in the first place.
Because he was a drama teacher?
Well, the he did teach drama, but he was also like the dude grew up in politics. Like he's the son of an ex-prime minister. Like the guy knows politics. He was kind of born and bred for it.
But
so,
that's all of them have been, right? I mean, they've all been conditioned to become president from birth, just about.
Some, yeah, most, I would say.
With the exception of Trump, but I mean, the Bushes, the Clintons, I mean, they had aspirations much early on. I mean, I think Clinton was Harvard at the time when he met Hillary, wasn't it? That he was being groomed for a presidential candidate.
Yeah, there are families
Bush
that
skull and crossbones or skull and bones and all that kind of.
Like you're not going to come up from nothing to become the president of the United States. It's just not viable.
I mean, I would say
possible.
It was Yale. It was Yale.
I mean, I would say Obama didn't really come from an elite family. He got in good when he got to Harvard and that kind of stuff, but he didn't come from a powerful aristocratic family. Came from a single mom, right?
No, but he did court the evangelicals a little bit and the religious, because I mean, early Obama, he was very atheist. He was one out there talking crap about the Bible. But as time progressed, he became more ingratiated to them because he realized he had to have their support, just like Trump had to have the evangelical support. Yeah.
And I think Obama. I think Obama's grandmother used to have three-ways with Barbara Bush and Aleister Crowley too. So,
that's hot.
I don't know. I haven't seen the birth certificate on that, but it's out
True
there.
story. I was out the other day in L.A. and at the train station. There was a lady there who was going off on SRAs, and I'm like, what's SRA? And she's like, satanic ritual abuse. I'm like, oh, so you really buy into this 80s panic stuff, because she was a little bit older than me. So I was like, you had to be in the satanic panic. And she was just going off how the devil's everywhere and satanic people are stealing babies and eating them for breakfast, kind of stuff. And eventually got down to where, hey, see, who are you and what are you going to be doing? I'm like, oh, I'm going to LA. I'm going to be visiting a friend who's a Satanist. I swear to God, and it was true. It's true, because the girl I was hanging out with is actually a Satanist. So her eyes just went, yeah, it was bizarre. Perfect timing.
So Bernie Sanders was taking a break. We're going to move on. Bernie Sanders was taking a break after his heart attack happened. So I guess just now for the debate, he's back on the campaign
Thank goodness.
Trail. Do you think it was kind of weird for his supporters calling him mitochondrial infarction?
What was it?
Do you think it was weird because his supporters were like, well, Bernie didn't have a heart attack. He had a mitochondrial infarction. I'm like, that's the heart attack.
He did have a heart attack. He admitted
to it.
Yeah,
that's the same thing. But they were trying to downplay it by not calling it a heart attack. They're trying calling it an infarction. Mitochondrial infarction, but that
seems silly. That seems silly, yeah.
Here it is. Okay. I don't know why it didn't play. Here we go.
We're just hours away from the fourth Democratic debate tonight in Westerville, Ohio. It'll be Bernie Sanders' first campaign event since he suffered a heart attack almost 2 weeks ago. Our Caitlin Huey-Burns spoke with former Ohio State Senator and co-chair of the Sanders campaign, Nina Turner, about how the Vermont senator is feeling before taking the stage.
Senator is feeling just fine. Ready, roaring to go as always. Even in talking with him, even from when he was in the hospital, he was still thinking about other people in this country who don't have the same access to health care that he does, and saying, not just to himself, but out loud, I got to do more to really push and promote Medicare for all. So even in his time of need, he's still thinking about the mission, per usual.
And are we going to hear that?
I don't think he's going to do... I think Bernie's done. He's the one I want the most, but I don't think he's going to get it.
Tonight, him kind of draw on this experience of suffering a heart attack and using it to talk about health care?
You will hear that. I know it's hard to think that Senator Bernie Sanders could go harder on health care, but he is, because it was such a piercing experience for him, and it just really came full circle about...
I would have voted for Bernie too, but he's 78 years of age. Let's be realistic. He is not going to be capable of physically carrying out the duties and responsibilities.
I don't know.
I've pimped out some transgenders to Bernie, and he goes hard.
Yeah,
believe you me.
Bernie's had a little bit of the fro-yo. I think that Bernie here, if he had a really good, young, youthful running mate, nice vice president.
Yeah, but they don't pick those until later.
Oh, so wait, you mean like if Bernie and like Yang?
Yeah,
young Yang.
And that would be possible, but you got to get the nomination before you get a vice president.
Now,
Right.
See, Bernie would be better off being on the vice presidential ticket than the presidential.
Isn't Biden older than he is, or is Biden younger?
Biden's younger, a little bit younger. Bernie's the oldest. Biden's right there. Then
Biden's
Trump.
76. He's 2 years younger.
Yeah, and then Trump, and then Warren. They're all over 70. Everyone that's like in the top 4 people to be president are all over 70.
Yay.
And yet you only have to be 35. So where's all the the millennials, right?
There's never been anyone under 40 that's ever won.
Nobody
Was Kennedy the youngest?
I think technically Teddy Roosevelt was the youngest. Technically.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, 42. You're right.
Nobody
Teddy
under
Roosevelt.
40 can afford to run for president. We've been pinched. The millennials can't afford anything, let alone a presidential run. We got to pay twice as much rent on half as much earnings. It's
I
not
say we
fair.
enslave the boomers.
Yes.
The Zoomers.
The Zoomers?
That's what I meant to say, not the boomers.
Wow, what a-
the boomers
the
are
Z
too old to
generation?
make good slaves.
You can't enslave the Zoomers.
Why not?
They run things.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't run shit. Maybe they run your world.
Wow. Ben, you're behind the times, Mr. Boomer. Mr. Boomer Ben.
I say enslave the Zoomers. They're young. They'll grow into it. They'll get stronger. as
Ben's
they
all
age.
about enslaving the young trans froyo bitches.
Yeah.
Can I call them trans bitches? Is that do you have to put an asterisk or something there? How's that work? I don't know how trans prostitutes work.
I'm not going to sit here and teach you grammar all night.
Would you please teach me grammar?
No.
Wow.
Ben, do you have
Easy, Ben.
guidelines on how to treat your trainees?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I mean,
I'll have a
you gotta do it
PowerPoint
right,
presentation ready by the next episode.
Are they allowed to order
What are
anything
work
off the menu?
standards?
Yeah.
Health and safety.
The millions of people in this country who are either uninsured or underinsured who hesitate to go to the hospital because they don't have health care and they could have had a different outcome. And we met people like that all on the campaign trail, or people who only take part of their medicine because they cannot afford it. So yes, this is
a lot of these issues that presidential candidates run on, even if they get elected, don't even happen because Congress won't approve it. That's why Yang's.
That sounds like an issue with Congress, though, not an issue with the president.
Well, yeah, I mean, the president will ultimately sign their bills into law, but they have to pass the House and Senate.
Right. So if you've got a president who wants to pass it and they can't get it through Congress, it sounds like that's an issue with Congress, not an issue with the president.
But that's what I'm saying. These presidents have these promises like Yang's UBI. Yang could get elected, but he may not be able to pass a UBI. He can't just decree that it happened. That money's going to have to come somewhere.
Yeah, but again, if you've got presidents who want to actually make changes and they want to push legislation through and they want to make things better for the people, if the thing that's stopping them from doing it is Congress, then the issue is with Congress.
Right.
And people need to start coming out
running,
against Congress, not the president.
Here's the issue with that. They're running saying, if I get to be president, this is going to happen. But when they become president, the best they can do is go, hold on, let me finish. The best thing that they can do is go, I support this happening. But beyond that, there's nothing more they can do until it's right in front of them, already done.
But Ben, do you not think that the American people are so stupid, have been so just denigrated in their intelligence level that they actually believe now when presidents make these kind of things? A president who says they're going to run, like Bernie Sanders, his platform is on healthcare. But if a president says, hey, when I'm going to be president, I'm going to implement a single payer platform for universal healthcare for every American. The first thing somebody should say to them is, how are you going to do that? Right? How is this going to actually happen? What is your plan for this? Because these people just say stuff and the American people go, oh, this sounds great. Let's do that. Yes. But until somebody asks about how do you expect to do for this? Because how many people asked Trump how he's going to fulfill any of his campaign promises? I didn't see anybody ask him.
Obama ran on universal health care, and what we got was a mandate to buy private insurance.
It was something the Republicans introduced like a decade earlier.
Right.
Yep.
Right. That's what we got.
Yay.
So even if they say that's what they're going to give us, there's no guarantee that what they promise is what we're going to get. We may not get anywhere even close to it. Yeah, the wall's another thing. There were people who, I don't agree, but there's people who legitimately wanted the wall, and they voted for Trump to have the fucking wall built. And there's segments of fence that have been built.
There's no wall. There can never be a wall.
The one that was scaled by the 8-year-old.
The most they could do is his electronic wall with drones, but they're not going to be able to put a physical wall like he wants. It's just stupid.
So what should the candidates say then? Should they say that we want to try and push this through Congress, but Congress won't let us, and then the people should start making changes to Congress? Like, what's the solution?
I personally think that these presidential candidates should work in tandem with people running for Senate and the House at the same time during the same election as them. And instead of putting all the focus on just getting them elected, shifting the focus not totally away from them, but also towards, doing rallies with people who are running for Congress in certain states, because it's just as important that they win the majority in the House and Senate as it is getting the presidency. That's how I feel.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. That'd be interesting.
Donald Trump spend $278 million on leisure golfing since he became president. That's what I should run for president on.
I should have fuck around.
I'll straight up fuck around. I'll live stream everything. I'm like, hey guys, what's up? It's President Billy here.
Hey guys, look, young Bill Fridge here. We're in the Situation Room.
Yeah.
Here's the nuclear codes right here. Dude, that's fucking awesome.
That'd be fucking dope.
It's got a GoPro on your head.
Yeah.
Hey, Billy, just run on the platform of lowering your handicap. There you go. That's your whole thing. Is you got to lower your handicap.
No, fuck wasting the money on golf. I'm going to take that money that's going into Trump's golfing resorts. He's making his own money, spending our taxpayer dollars at his own golf clubs, making millions off of playing golf on our country's dime. I'm going to take that money. I'm going to run on the platform that I'm going to come to your fucking game store or your video store or your porn club, and I'm going to spend the money buying shit from you.
I'll vote for you, but you have to promise to wallpaper the Situation Room with Brett Keane memorabilia. And a big statue of him in his undies and his wife beater. Because it's the Situation Room.
Yeah.
A situation room with this individual Billy the Fridge.
You're taking my presidential run as a joke.
I am,
It offends me.
Well, to be fair, at least he would be putting the money back into the economy.
Exactly. Fuck this Andrew Yang bullshit he has to go through Congress for. I'm literally going to take the money Trump's spending on golf and have my entertainment be in your backyard. Well, if you have something fun you're selling, like a fucking...
President Fridge, I just happen to offer companionship services.
Yeah, I'll come buy a velvet pickle
for the low
you,
price
Ben.
of $200 a night for steak. You get meal. You get fed out of it.
All you got to do is grill up some steak.
Seriously, I'm going to become the first live streamer president. I'm going to live stream all this. I'm going to take this spending cash that Trump's spending because he doesn't have to go through Congress to go golfing. He doesn't have to do that. I'm just going to take this money, put it right back into people's hands by buying velvet pickle from Ben's Froyo corner. I'm going to go.
I don't think you really appreciate Ben's business model here of having ladyboys and steak. I mean, it's such a brilliant combination.
I have no problem with steak or ladyboys. I'm going
to
go to Portland, Oregon. I'm going to go into the Acropolis Steakhouse, drop $17,000 on those strippers and some $10 steaks.
You're a job creator.
I am. This is my presidential run. Fuck Congress. I'm taking this entertainment budget that Trump spends on golf.
Literally
and I'm
fuck
dumping
Congress.
It. Literally fuck.
Literally, you just walk up into Congress and drop trowel like what?
I'll be like, hey, Daddy's home, Congress.
You'd be like, Nancy, bend over, bitch.
Yeah, I'll go up at the podium and slam my dick on it like a gavel.
You hit that Grossy Pelosi?
I would knock Grossy Pelosi's sugar walls. I'd knock the fucking cobwebs off them sugar walls. It looked like a Halloween disco rave when I'm done with all the UV lights showing my jism spraying everywhere. Hell yeah, Grossy Pelosi could get it all the way down. I'll go to Chuck Schumer, be like, you want to suck it? You want to suck it, Schumer? Suck me.
And then get immediately soft when you look at Mitch McConnell.
I think that happens behind you.
Yeah. I'm
Who
telling
would
you,
you
I
have
could
as
get
your vice president?
my vice president. I think I would get Larry David because people would think it was Bernie Sanders, and I just have Larry David be Bernie Sanders for me. I think that'd be pretty.
How about your Secretary of State? Who would that be?
My Secretary of State? I'd get Velvet Pickle. I'd pull her out of your stable. I mean,
Secretary of State.
Yeah, you get properly paid back for giving me Velvet Pickle.
Is there going to be a Secretary of Cheese then too? Mayor McCheese.
Mayor McCheese. That's a good one. Yeah, I would get all of I would outfit the military with like all the Playland characters from McDonald's Playland and all the Chuck E. Cheese characters, and I would go to like the Country Time Bears, all the animated puppet like.
The head of security is going to be the Hamburglar.
Yeah, I would have them all in my cabinet as like Secret Service.
You should literally shove them all in a cabinet and be like, "You're in my cabinet now."
Yeah, you're in my cabinet,
bitch.
It's be like the Indian in the cupboard.
There's not even a cabinet in here.
Yeah, you ever read
This
that
is why we
book,
want
Indian in the
term limits,
Cupboard?
just in case somebody like Billy did get in to be president. We don't want him for more than 8 years.
I would
give
love
me
to
8
see what he
years.
does on the international stage.
Think of how much better I could do for you if you like if you owned a damn a skate park or something. I would go to your skate park and I would learn how to skate and drop like $60,000 doing
No,
it.
he wouldn't. He would just slide down the skateboard ramp with his whole body. That's
I
what
would
he
do
does.
that, and I would live stream it so America could watch the whole thing, and I'd be putting money back into circulation, not this bullshit golf club 1%ers getting my entertainment budget like Trump has. Fuck that. It's going back into the people. Entertain me, my peasants. Entertain me. That's how I'm running on. Fuck the world. I could do more change with that than any of these other presidents. We're starting the campaign today. Okay. Fuck Yang Gang. You want $1,000 a month? Come suck it. Suck my dick for $1,000 a month. Everybody in America has that opportunity, 18 or above. There you go. Fuck UBI. This is my entertainment budget. But I'm gonna legalize prostitution though. That has to go through Congress, huh? Actually, that's state level, isn't it?
Congress.
Thanks for helping me out with that. Actually, no, I don't think that there has to be a congressional law to pass that.
So I just had, that's a state thing.
I believe
I'd
it
have to work
is.
with all the states to legalize the blowjobs. Yeah, never mind.
Thick Duck said, I
legalize-
bet you.
Wait, to legalize blowjobs, where they're illegal now or something?
Well, to pay for it, because
I mean,
Yeah,
the Supreme
prostitution, he's
Court
talking
could declare
about.
that
I was gonna say,
prohibition of
you always gotta pay
prostitution
for
is
it somehow.
unconstitutional.
Well, I want to give
man.
everybody part of this entertainment budget that Trump spends on golf clubs. I want to give everybody at home the opportunity to entertain me for $1,000 a month. Like,
Thick Duck said, I bet you $10 Billy would accidentally launch all the nukes on every power plant ever after 2 minutes.
Fuck it.
All right.
Accidentally, right?
You want universal
Accidentally.
blowjobs for everybody.
Yeah.
Did you see the news story where that cop just like shot that woman through her window? He was creeping around her.
Yeah.
He was creeping around her house because the neighbors said that they were worried because her front door was open all night. I don't know why. That's a huge deal, but whatever. So the cop goes and is like creeping around the house, and naturally she's like, "What's going on? Who's creeping around my house?" So they're looking at each other through a window, and the cop's like, "Put your hands up!" Boom, and just shoots her.
She was like
is that the
playing
one that had a
games with her
gun?
nephew.
Is that the one that she had a gun on the counter?
Because
there was one recently where she
there was a gun.
She had a gun, but
there was a gun somewhere. But having a gun shouldn't mean the cops are allowed to shoot you no matter what in your own house.
yeah, she was African American, right?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, I read that already.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right, as promised, we're taking you to Texas, where Fort Worth Police Chief Ed Krause is holding a news conference. He is providing an
this Chief
update
Beef?
on the department's
Mayor
investigation
McCheese?
into Aaron Dean.
Or
He's
was
the
it
former
Constable
police
Patty?
officer
Was that what it was?
who fatally shot a black woman in her own home over the weekend.
We have a great many officers who work extremely hard every day, and they do this at great sacrifice and with a servant's heart.
So basically, I mean, this guy gives this long speech and he almost cries a couple times. But basically, what happened is that cop is being charged with murder now.
Yeah.
So
I got no issue with that.
No, me neither.
These officers, granted, I'm not slandering all officers. I think officers have a very difficult job. But when they're improperly trained and they do things like this, there needs to be accountability, because this is unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. I mean, military people would be far worse. You do something like this in the military,
You go to
you're
prison.
going to be convicted.
Does this guy have Down syndrome or something?
No.
His face looks like he's got like.
He looks like
he's got. I'm saying he looks like he's not all there. I don't. Maybe I'm.
He
judging.
does look a little
It's kind
bit
of a
like,
bad
because,
picture,
like,
but
if
it's
you look
also
at
a
his
mug.
mouth. Yeah, if you look at his mouth, it looks like it's more on one side than it is the other. Like, I don't know, maybe somebody hit him with a 2x4.
Yeah, I mean, his eyes are a little crooked. The shadow,
it looks like his jaw's a little bit.
the shadow isn't
tilted.
favoring him either.
But he resigned. They didn't fire him. Resigned from the police force.
resigned?
He didn't get fired. He shot somebody.
They let him resign.
But now he's getting
before.
tried with murder, right?
Right. He would have gotten fired anyway.
So
Correct.
we need to keep an eye on this and see if this guy shows up in another precinct, right?
No, he's being charged with murder, so he's not
Yeah,
showing
he's in
up
jail.
anywhere.
56, I think it is.
Well, he posted
What
bonds,
is
but-
procedure for officers on an open structure? Is it to go onto the property and look in windows? If it's an open structure, do you think common sense would be to knock on it?
Good question.
Well,
Yeah, so they interview this guy, and he says the normal,
Chat also chiming in. They seem to agree with me. He has something like fecal alcohol syndrome or something.
I think it's
Fetal, not fecal.
Oh.
Fecal alcohol syndrome. What's that? You shit vodka
I think he's
out your
shit
ass?
faced. Yeah, he's shit faced.
Fecal alcohol syndrome.
Yeah, Chat seems to agree with me on that call. I don't know what it's like the screening process in Dallas Fort Worth to become a cop, but this guy obviously didn't he didn't get there on his merits. He stumbled in, killed a woman, and now he's gonna be charged with
They
murder.
brought him on the force so they could all suck vodka out of his ass.
Isn't fecal alcohol the kind of hooch you make in prison in the toilet?
That's jankum.
Yeah, fecal alcohol.
That's the ribeye
special
jankums.
punch.
The 1-2
Or you
punch.
get a high colonic of vodka. That could be kind of fecal alcohol.
Oh yeah, when you dip a tampon into vodka and then slide it in your bum for the long release.
Oh, you do that too.
Yeah, it's very damaging to your anus material, but it does,
also doesn't go through your liver, so it's really bad for you. People who died doing that
yeah,
shit.
it can fuck you up quick. Don't do it at home, kids.
Yeah, people who die
Got
from
no
alcohol
attention.
enemas. Ronan Farrow, he's talking about how the National Enquirer got paid to shred all this evidence against Trump before the election happened. And people speculate whether or not Ronan Farrow isn't really Woody Allen's son, but Frank Sinatra's son. Because Mia Farrow was with Frank Sinatra, too.
La-da-da-da.
So,
This safe of secrets. We had heard rumors that the National Enquirer and or its parent company, AMI, had a safe of secrets where they kept stories on Donald Trump, who was then a candidate.
All right. Do you see more Frank or more Woody Allen?
Does Woody Allen have old blue eyes?
I see William Dafoe mixed with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, I don't know, man. Mia Farrow's obviously in there somewhere.
Of course.
I think Mia Farrow's genes are strong enough to outlast or overpower either Sinatra.
No way. Nothing overpowers Sinatra genes.
Okay, horny Ben. you wish Sinatra
Hey, how'd
wore
you
a
know
wig?
my high school nickname?
Horny Ben.
Horny Ben.
That actually
Is that
does look a lot like Sinatra.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Can we get a Mia Farrow on the other side?
I was gonna put Woody on the other
If his
side.
hair pulls back, I bet his hairline matches if his hair wasn't forward like that.
So
He's got a nose too.
Yeah, the noses are similar. Mia Farrow.
The eyebrows too, actually.
Those eyes are those are the old blue eyes there.
Yeah, here's Woody Allen.
Okay.
Yeah, he does not look like Woody Allen. Can we get a younger picture of Woody Allen?
No, Woody Allen always looked this way.
Yeah, that is a younger picture of Woody
Yeah,
Allen.
this is Woody Allen, 1985.
That's Woody Allen from 1977.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does not. Look at the chin.
Yeah.
Just look at the jawline.
Let's see, Mia Farrow. I mean, I see this too, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty sure he fell out of Mia Farrow's vagina. So
Yeah, I mean-
she's a lock-in, but I want to see.
There she is, right
That's
there.
not a good picture of Mia
I mean-
Farrow. She looks more like Woody Allen there.
It is Woody Allen.
We got to get Mia
Or
Farrow
was it?
from around the age she was early on, because that's what we're going to compare Farrow here too. Because this Ronan Farrow is a younger Farrow.
So here's Mia Farrow and Woody Allen at some.
Yeah, there's no way you get Mia Farrow and Woody Allen together and push out that kid. Like,
yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, that looks like
he looks like Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, he looks it's crazy.
It's the eyes, the blue eyes.
You could tell me like the dude who played Pennywise in It, Bill
Look at
Skarsgård.
okay, look at you. Okay, so both of them, both Frank Sinatra and Rowan, have their heads turned to the side, right? Look at the forehead and then sideline down the jaw, and then
He has a widow's peak.
It's the same as Frank Sinatra's.
Yeah.
The only thing that's really different between Frank and Rowan is the ears, which he probably got from his mom. They're smaller.
Yeah.
They're not even that different of ears. Like,
no, they're just smaller.
yeah. Huh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Frank Sinatra's the daddy.
Yeah, that's what I've always thought, and I've heard other people say that. I heard Howard Stern talking about it a while back too.
Because those eyes, those are blue eyes. Those are Sinatra eyes.
Blue eyes.
Document multiple source documented accounts of a destruction of evidence before the election.
They were shredded.
There is an incident in the days before the 2016 election where
it's true, they were buying up all of these stories that were being shopped to the tabloids. They bought them up and killed them.
We have employees saying that Dylan Howard, this senior,
which is not normally what a rumor magazine or newspaper would do, right? Normally,
Are you listening to this kid's voice?
It's deep. It's commanding.
Your AMI official ordered documents to be removed from a safe and shredded.
Okay, so now tell us, what was on that list? What was in that?
Will you do us a favor and sing a couple bars in New York, New York for us really quick?
Safe.
So, as with so many AMI stories, the story is about the process. The story is about the collaboration between Trump and this outlet and whether it violated election law. Obviously, AMI has signed a non-prosecution agreement admitting to potential violations of election law.
Okay, here's what AMI says about you. Mr. Farrow's narrative is driven by unsubstantiated allegations from questionable sources, and while these stories may be dramatic, they are completely untrue.
I'll let the reporting in the book stand on its own. We're extremely confident in it, and those...
This is the guy that made all the Me Too shit happen.
Yeah.
This guy is charismatic.
Sure.
Are you suggesting that maybe this is all psyops and that Trump is completely innocent?
No.
Okay.
That's not what I'm suggesting. Maybe you are.
No, I wouldn't suggest that.
Denials are included very clearly in the book. It's very fair. It's very meticulously fact-checked.
Damaging information that could have been helpful to voters during the 2016 election was...
It doesn't matter. There was already damning information. It didn't do shit. He said he grabs cunts whenever he wants.
Here's the thing. There is no damning information to Trump that's really going to affect anybody any different than what's already out there now. People are going to vote for him. They're going to vote for him. He could go on mass killing spree. People are still going to vote for him for whatever.
There's videos of him partying with Epstein and like pointing at chicks and being like, "Yeah, she's hot."
Yeah.
And
he's untouchable.
Girls who are like clearly like 15.
And then he got to be like, "Oh no, I never liked him. I never liked him." It's like you're hanging out with him, partying with him at your house.
Yeah, there's that one older clip where he's talking about Epstein, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Epstein, he likes some young."
Yeah.
It's his quote.
Yeah.
But Ben, you know how you mentioned earlier that in the two-party system, the one party is always trying to find dirt on the other party.
Right.
This is what makes Trump so strong, because no matter what dirt you find on him, it doesn't fucking matter.
I know.
He's invincible.
Yeah, to that kind of stuff.
This is what they don't know what the hell to do with him. I mean, think about it. If Bush had a wire or a microphone, hot mic, talking about grabbing pussy, do you think he would have survived this?
Oh my God. Bush could never say anything right. Like people thought.
Why?
He may have said nuclear wrong, and people lost their shit.
But why is Trump so impenetrable? Like, what makes him that way?
He ran on a conspiracy platform, right?
Yeah, I mean, before he got into politics officially, he was one of the main people being like, Obama's not from America. He can't be president.
He turned the Republican Party into the conspiracy party. And he takes any criticism against him and calls it fake news. Fake news.
It's part of a conspiracy.
Yeah.
And it's easily bought up because he already cultivated the audience. Okay. So
And he almost
he's cultivated that type of audience.
He almost has like Jedi mind tricks where he'll just simply state something and enough people believe it.
Yeah, he talks to the audience like they're 5-year-old. He's president, explain like I'm 5. And the audience that follows him undoubtedly has probably the mental capacity of a 5-year-old. and they believe President Trump over anybody else because he's that good old boy or is that sweet boy that ran and said he's going to build a fucking wall and get them jobs, and he definitely got them some sort of jobs.
Like now he's distancing himself from Giuliani, who was his biggest defender recently. And I said this before this happened. Do you remember me saying, like, everyone that defends Trump goes to jail, and then someone else has to step up and defend him?
Yeah.
And
We're dead.
And there were those Ukrainians that Giuliani was working with that got in trouble, and that's why this whole investigation's happening. They asked Trump about him. He's like, I don't know them. I don't know about them. I don't know. And there's all these pictures of Trump hanging out with these guys. It's like, okay, you don't know them at all. Like, maybe you did only pose for a picture with them, but you gotta know something about them. It's not just like you let them just bring anybody to you.
But people
Well,
believe
there's
Trump
interviews.
when he says those things. Like, I just hung out with Epstein. People that are stupid will believe stupid people.
So would the best way to deal with this be to not pick at the little things that Trump does and not blow anything out of proportion and actually just like drive into him and like, no, global warming is a real thing and here's why, and like try to appeal to the higher, like the more reasonable side of people?
This sounds like Canadian jibba jabba to me.
Well, that's the thing. That you're never going to cut through the bullshit with Trump. What they're trying to do right now is run on a "we must stop Trump" platform. That's what Biden's going for. That's what all the
You need to find a better candidate and pop that candidate up and say, this is what we have to offer.
Dude, you know what I just remembered that I had forgotten about? Did you see that there was a Bill Gates Epstein connection? Did you hear about that?
I didn't hear about it, but I'm sure that it exists.
Confirmed Bill Gates stayed at Epstein's house on more than one occasion. And there's like leaked text messages because, they've got all of Epstein's shit. So they can go through all of his message history and his internet history, emails, all that shit.
Do you think Bill Gates was getting some illicit suck it at Epstein's mansion?
I mean, why else were these guys? Why was Prince Andrew staying at it? Why? Like, who does that? Why do these billionaires have slumber parties together?
I mean, you go and network and make business deals behind the
Having
scenes.
slumber parties, though? I mean, he could have. I guarantee you, Bill Gates probably has a home somewhere in New York he could stay at.
Probably.
Yeah.
But if you go to Epstein, you meet with other people, like if Prince Andrew's there and they're all going family style on a 15-year-old.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, hang on. First, I'm sure he trafficked at all types of ages. So you can't just assume that these people were into underage people. And if they're rich or they want some hookers and escorts, who begrudges them of that? I mean, that's all the Playboy Mansion was, basically, right? I mean... you can't just assume that it was because of Epstein because he trafficked at an underage.
I don't know about the Playboy. I don't know how much money was being exchanged at the Playboy Mansion as much as like clout was being exchanged.
It
at
still
the
was one
Playboy
big fuck fest. Come on.
Sure, but it was for clout, not necessarily for money.
Sure, status.
So here's Bill with Epstein, and Bill Gates is like huge here, like even bigger than most places.
Yeah.
Is that Mark Cuban on the end? I can't tell.
No.
That's Wade Barrett from WWE.
It looks like Wade Barrett. You're right.
Who are these other guys here?
I don't know.
Is that Joe Piscopo there with the muscles?
No.
Yeah.
That's some bodyguard or something. I don't know.
Like, if you're Bill Gates and you're working with Epstein has a lot of connections outside of laundering little girls to the elite. So I could see them having some sort of business meeting here. It doesn't necessarily mean Bill Gates is over there getting down and dirty.
It doesn't.
Yeah, I think you don't want to commit guilt by association, right?
But why was he staying? It is weird.
But it's reason to ask questions at the very least.
We say it is weird, but the list of people that have been connected to Epstein is just about everybody.
Even
right?
Epstein's loafers look creepy to me.
Epstein was donating to J.F. Garipy, who is
allegedly
who is connected to this show through court documents.
I don't know if I believe that. I think that may have been JF blowing smoke.
Oh, really?
I think. There's no actual evidence besides his claim.
Oh, okay.
He claimed that
Epstein was donating to him.
Yeah, like tens of thousands, like $40,000-$50,000, something like that.
Yeah.
Did he give a reason why he was? I mean, what would be the point? Or?
Racism.
just for race reasons.
JF also said that Jeffrey Epstein would give him his defective girls.
No,
all the bruised fruit,
the rejects.
Yeah,
the lower end, the low tier.
Yeah, the dented fruit cans. No. The dented cans would go to JF.
Hey, you know what? Damaged goods. You know,
I have to wonder what if so JF thinks the Jews are like in power and control everything and are.
If that's true, where's my cut?
Well, why is he accepting money from someone named Epstein?
Well, I mean,
why is he allowing himself to be bought and sold by the Jews when he claims that they're so evil?
Why would he have a Mandingo rap battle against G-Man?
That was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. Before JF espoused any of these types of views that he does now.
By the way, JF's been on my show, and people think for some reason I have this weird love for him. I barely even know GF. He's a biologist, and
it's the guilt by association thing. That's all it is.
Talk about his racism crap. I disagree with him. He's not a butt buddy of mine. He's just somebody that I've had on.
I try to get people to come on the show and debate him, and they like.
It's weird that people think I have this relationship with these people. Like I don't.
It's guilt by association.
Bizarre, man. It's really bizarre.
Hey, did you hear about that? Steve has relationships with Katie Polson.
I don't know who that is.
I'm sexually harassing a Pathos writer.
Cool.
Ex-Pathos writer.
Ex-Pathos writer. Yes, no longer with Pathos. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm telling you, these conspiracy things that people come up with, they really do go out of their way to say, how can I spin this where it makes it sound like somebody's doing something actually wrong?
Oh my God, there was the one crazy lady that called you a rape apologist.
I got a couple of those.
There was that never-ending Twitter thread that I was tagged in that I never really said anything in, and it went on for like a month.
Tagged in that? I got blocked on that ages ago.
So okay, but here's what here. I'm not just a rape apologist. She is also a rape apologist, and she's a gender traitor to her gender. Yeah. And she's a bigot. And producer, Bullinator, who's one of the nicest guys on the planet, he's now a bigot. One of the other producers, he's Davis McGinnis, he's now a bigot. It's like anybody who associates with anybody is now a bigot, a race realist, a transphobe, or a it's just you can't do anything anymore unless people are labeling you some type of pejorative, because that's all they have. It's true.
Oh, we'll get to that in a minute.
When we get the show back, I want to get a board behind me that I can flip over that has like a cork on the other side. So every time we get called a name, I can just flip the board over and add it to the board of all the crap we get called all the time.
Yeah, like Cheshire, she's community property, and people still love. They don't get what we mean by that.
No, I've explained the joke 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, and when you have to explain a joke, it kind of ruins its whole.
Yeah, if you think the joke is about sex and objectification, you don't get the joke.
Right, exactly.
Let's check.
And you're probably sexist because you automatically think the joke is sexist because I'm a female.
Billy sent this story to me about the world's largest Ouija board.
We're prepping for episode 666. We're going to need somebody to go on location here. Someone needs to go on location and get us a video.
Are you going to have like Lucine Greaves on from the Satanic Temple for that episode, or somebody from the Satanic Church?
It's going to be a fairly long episode, so we're looking for people to help us fill some time on it. By the way, this is 3,100 square feet.
If you want to if you want to summon some really big spirits, you're going to need a really big Ouija
this
board.
Ruby, I send you some cat and some dog too. Very tasty with rice, yes. Very good with egg roll, yes. By now. Throws up peace sign, does cute anime dance, then uses ancient Chinese powers to teleport away.
You know what? That almost... I thought that was just a recording of Andrew Yang talking. I had no idea
That's not the real Andrew Yang. We know that.
It sounded just like it.
No, I've said it 100 times. The real Andrew Yang would give us $1,000, not $20.
Steve looks shocked right now.
I was... Well, hang on.
I'll fix it. I'll fix it.
I'm confused because I can see myself from here and here. Okay, I used to play with the Ouija board. Matter of fact, I used to love experimenting with them because I think it's a really good way to psychologically investigate your own thoughts. And I think it's all internalized. I don't think there's any spirit or anything involved with the Ouija board. but there is the idiomotive effect, and it does actually move, right? So you are actually moving it, and I think there's a lot of psychology involved in that. So I am fascinated by Ouija boards by that measure of why are people interested, and why do they think that there's actually some kind of spirit around this stuff? Because every time you investigate the actual stories for a spiritual phenomenon, usually they obviously don't hold any water to them. But if you've actually used one, it does have the sensation of it being moved. This is undeniable. But as you realize that it's your own self doing it, I think it can be used to bring out a lot of subconscious things. I think it has a utility to it. Does that make sense?
Or is a Hasbro product? Yeah. There you go.
Well, modernized ones are.
Parker Brothers. Parker Brothers owned they had the trademark of the word Ouija, but I guess now it's not exclusively
they call
owned
spirit
by them.
boards.
Yeah.
If you want to summon some really big spirits, you're going to need a really big Ouija board. The world's largest Ouija board, in fact. On October 12th, 2019, the aptly titled Ouijazilla, a 9,000-pound Ouija board, was unveiled in no less than spooky Salem, Massachusetts. At 3,168 square feet, Ouijazilla has more square footage than many houses and includes a planchette over 15 feet long. The enormous board was crafted as a labor of love by creator Rick or Mortis, Shrek, or Mortis.
Shrek?
Rick Shrek, more commonly known as Or Mortis.
Or Mortis.
A tattoo artist, an avid collector of Ouija boards, including some totally not creepy boards made out of human bone. While Ouijazilla itself is made out of good old plywood, its giant size has well earned the title of world's largest Ouija board and could very well lead to Salem, home of the famous Salem witch trials, getting a whole lot more haunted. We got to get somebody out there on scene. Like, can we send Egghead out there? Is there anybody in Massachusetts nearby here that we could have go out here for episode 666 and like surfboard that little planchette around the Ouija board for us?
Who lives up in that area? Somebody has to live up in that area.
We gotta have somebody we can have go on the scene. Do I have to fly out to Massachusetts, to Salem, Massachusetts, so I can go surfboard this sumbitch? Do you think Or Mortis would let me on the board? We got to call Or Mortis and get some behind the scenes.
We gotta get him. We gotta get him on the show to promote his product.
Yeah.
He can tell us all about the history, like the kind of wood they use, and if they treated the paint in like lamb's or pig's blood or something. And then did they to get the numbers on the board before they stenciled it? Did they like do any like kind of seance around the paint?
Yeah, we need to know.
Bless the wood or something.
Constructed of 99 individual sheets of plywood, clocking in at approximately 9,000 pounds and measuring 3,168 square feet, Ripley's Believe It or Not would like to introduce you to Ouijazilla and its curious creator, Rick or Mortis Shrek. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought this shit was fucking nuts. And because we have episode 666 coming up, we got to try and fucking
that motherfucker can summon demons. I mean, fucking go. You're getting like arch demons with that bad boy.
What if you do? Oh, chat makes a good point. What if we summon Exodia with it?
Asmodeus or Balal or Pazuzu.
Well, it's not gonna be Pazuzu. You just summon Pazuzu by saying his name.
Pazuzu's the bomb, man. Come on.
I agree, but that's not how you don't.
That was
summon
the Exorcist and the
Pazuzu with a
demon.
Ouija board.
Pazuzu.
No, you summon Pazuzu. Yeah, Pazuzu you summon by saying his name.
Who would be the best drunken peasants demon to like resurrect? Like is there like a drunken demon or something, or like I don't know, a shill demon?
They all like to drink. They're all demons. I don't know.
Yeah, we have to pick the right one. We can't just waste this on any old demon.
So you just accidentally summon Dionysus.
Accidental summoning.
Let me look it up. Let me see if there's a demon of drinking.
Yeah, that's kind of sucky when you accidentally summon a demon you're not trying for.
We have to be very focused.
You know what? Get Nephilim free. He I guess has experience with demons.
Oh God,
in his own
he's
mind.
so boring.
I know he is.
It just brought me to a bunch of anti-alcoholism sites.
That's where the Christians are ruining everything. We want to find the demon of alcohol, and they're over here trying to get us to stop drinking.
The demon of alcohol.
Yeah. Can we? Yeah.
Is there such a thing?
Let's summon the hellhound. Let's summon the hellhound of Spuds McKenzie. There's no way Spuds McKenzie is still alive.
Right.
So
How about Lassie and Rin Tin Tin while we're at
well,
it?
Spuds was the Bud Light dog, so he's more like fucking Lassie. What'd Lassie do for alcoholism? Lassie, that well that Timmy fell in, wasn't a well full of liquor. It wasn't fucking a whiskey well. If it was, Timmy would be kicking it right now. Lassie don't give a fuck
If it
about
was
alcohol.
Timmy, be kicking it by now.
Yeah, little drunk ass Timmy.
Drunk ass Timmy. All right, so yeah, Ouija board, it's huge. I don't know how they're going to, they must be able to break it down and take it inside.
They said it was 99 boards, right? Was that right?
So what is this? Oh, I remember this. Man, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Should I play the video?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second.
This
I
is
would
the
be so happy if
prostitution.
they summoned a Mosius.
This is a prostitution ring that you weren't in charge of, Ben?
It was just one of your franchises.
Oh.
Yeah.
We
don't want to ask any more questions.
Are named in a prostitution sting called Operation Velvet Fury.
What?
Prosecutors say two
Whoa.
Ripley Public Schools employees were tracked
Velvet
down
Fury,
through
Ben?
multiple
You couldn't
websites.
just stick with
Our
the Velvet
Sylvia
Pickle?
Corkill is in the studio with the story. Sylvia?
Kelly, a Ripley support teacher, was arrested and believed to be one of 6 ringleaders. A reporter from our sister station spoke to the district superintendent accused of being a John.
Tulsa County District
not John, damn it.
Attorney's
My name
Office
is
and the
Ben.
Oklahoma Attorney General's Office are cracking down on prostitution.
If you are a consumer of paying for sex and victimizing women, we are coming after you.
Okay, hold on. We were watching this earlier, and we're like, the prohibition is what's victimizing the women.
Yeah.
It allows them to be victimized.
Yeah. I mean, if they were able to legalize it and actually regulate it and tax it and not stigmatize it, when a woman wants to do that, and is it her empowerment to do so? It isn't victimizing the woman. It is empowering the woman to make her own decisions.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why they have to be something that, oh, well, if you have to pay for sex, it all of a sudden victimizes the woman. Bullshit.
Yeah, that's two very different things. Paying for sex and victimizing women are not the same thing.
If you look historically in like the Wild West United States, prostitution was the one thing that gave women actual power.
I mean, it's even before the Old West.
Yes,
I mean,
especially in the
before
Wild
the United
West.
States.
Yeah.
But the building of the United States was built on the back of prostitution. Seattle, where we're at, was built on the back of prostitution. And we want to take that power away from women. That this is the wage gap we need to be worried about. Let the women open up their leg gap and make that money.
The victimization happens in the shadows, in the dark, where it's pushed into. Because it's never going to go away. It's always going to be there. It can either be out in the open and where you can make it sure it's safe, or it can be in the shadows where anything goes.
We live in a generation now where the incels are crying. They're crying about not getting laid.
Would we have an incel problem?
If they could just go get a little bit of the stinky strange, they go get a little stink strange, they would realize they're not missing out on that much by being virgins.
No, the incels community, they would still be incels. They're not going to, even if they got it for free, I think they thrive on that thing. I don't think they even know what to do with the woman. So there's not going to, even if a woman said, yeah, I'll sleep with you, they'd be still like saying no. But I mean, look at like the Bunny Ranch, look at some other places where legalization has occurred for prostitution. It's regulated. They're medically taken care of. They're checked regularly. There's a lot of things that go into it. I'm all for that. To me, it's a victimless crime. And the money spent trying to stop it, it's just a waste of taxpayers' money. Like you said, Ben, it's going to be around. It's the world's oldest profession. It's the same shit they had with weed. People trying to regulate that back in the 80s with the war on drugs. That failed. This is the same fucking thing.
Well, hold on, Steve. Regulation is fine. It being regulated is a good thing. It should be regulated. It should be safe. It should be. Oh, I thought you said regulating weed and.
Well, no.
With war on drugs.
No, they were trying to ban weed, right? Weed
sorry. You meant
instead of regulating it, instead of taxing it and doing what they are now, which they could have done decades ago and made billions. This false war on drugs, well, the same thing, the false war on prostitution. But this guy seems to think that they're equating the same things, that if you have to pay for sex, you're a bad guy and the woman is being victimized.
You're victimizing them. They
That's
have
like
no
saying,
choice.
You're victimizing the actress who's in the porn, doing porn. You're victimizing.
Yeah, you're victimizing this fucking school teacher who couldn't make enough money off this asshole's. Is this the superintendent or a cop? Because this is the motherfucker running these teachers one way, and if this teacher has to go sell her pussy because he's not paying her bills in charge, maybe we need Pimp Daddy Deluxe to come out there.
Well, yeah, and realistically at that point is that by treating it this way, you're actually forcing these women into prostitution.
Yeah.
That is illegal. So you're the
seedy prostitution. You got to remember the pimps make how much money, but if they legalize it, they got a bigger cut, and they made they got 80% of what they're making rather than like 20%. Don't you think they'd be better off?
And properly regulated prostitution and properly there are rules and there are safety measures in place, then these people aren't going to get hurt. It's no longer a dangerous industry, whereas if it's taking place in a back alley, it is, where people can be victimized.
If you regulate prostitution, you can now get pimps that are like trained to protect women. Yeah. They're not going to be like one pimp and 9 hoes he's got to beat into place. Every couple of women.
Isn't there that exists? Is there not like a legal brothel somewhere? I can't remember where
Nevada. There's tons of legal prostitution in Nevada, where Las Vegas is.
Vegas
state
is
of Nevada.
Legal.
Well, Vegas is legal, but Nevada is where Las Vegas is.
It still happens in Vegas anyway.
It still happens, right?
So,
but I mean, look. But Ben, if sex is going to happen, if a woman wants to give me some bucks as a tip for it, I'm okay with that. Or even pay me directly. I'll take cash, check, or charge. I got no issue with that.
In the Netherlands, most of the women there that are prostitutes they're basically private contractors. They get licensed by the local government, and they rent out, windows to stand in.
Yeah, they put back into it goes back into the economy.
Right.
Yeah. And helps pay for the medical too.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
This guy's more crap.
He needs a hooker.
State agencies are making a list of Johns. So far, 3 accused ringleaders have been arrested, including Casey Williamson, a Ripley Middle School employee. Investigators say, according to messages found in the Discord app, Williamson stated she was starting a new life, but planned on keeping select clients for prostitution.
Oh, let her fuck those clients.
Also named in court documents is Ripley Superintendent Kenny Beams.
It notes that you're the superintendent, and it also lists your name as a Reddit user and a user of Discord. Is that correct?
I don't think that is correct.
Why are they making Reddit user and user of Discord sound as nefarious as?
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's what I thought too. I was like, that's kind of an odd way to state that.
It's very interesting because I feel like all 3 of these, out of prostitution using Reddit and Discord, prostitution is the most respectable of the 3.
Is that where you find it? I thought it was like a Tinder or something.
I mean, the Discord's probably just where everybody in the Discord goes down in the Discord.
Wait, you got hookers on the Discord?
You don't know.
Hell yeah, I got hookers on the Discord.
Right.
This affidavit also says that, and it lists your name, that you're known to solicit acts of prostitution in Tulsa.
Really?
Is that correct?
No.
How would that make it into an affidavit?
I don't know, sir.
You don't know how that came to be?
No.
What can you tell us about that?
I can't tell you anything about
This
that.
is
when asked if Beams
was the superintendent getting that girl as a prostitute, then he got her a job at the school, pulled her in, like, you know what, I'm gonna take you off the street, you can come work
was he
at
a
the school.
John, or was he a ring? I mean, like, was a supervisor of the prostitution ring?
I'm not sure.
Or both.
The plot thickens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look at it, as long as they weren't, using the school kids for their prostitution shit, but they're adults, I just don't care. What you can letting adults do is their own goddamn business. If money exchanges hands, that's all well and good too, man. I usually get flipped a quarter for a job well done as a tip, so I don't mind. By the way, from the weekend, just FYI, I did really well.
Hey, was that all from Los Angeles?
It's all from Los Angeles, yeah. It did really.
My God,
she told me I did really well, so it's just like
She was just like, here's my piggy bank, sir.
You got that West Coast sugar dick.
You know what? I got to. It's kind of like riding a bicycle.
That's what she said.
It's kind of like riding a
say
bicycle.
That it was too confusing,
It's like riding a bicycle. You got to put a quarter in the air machine to pump up the tire.
Yeah, that's it. Flip me a quarter, and I'm good for at least like 5 minutes.
Justin H. Alman said, "Nice tip, Steve. Just a tip for a tip."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this
we'll
is
work for tip.
This is an interesting situation where we have a teacher and a superintendent all involved in this prostitution ring.
Whatever.
But I mean,
this
fuck
story
whatever.
And stories like this are reasons why prostitution should be
Exactly,
legalized.
Red Scare. Exactly.
Yeah.
If
You got people saying that nobody wants to sell their body. Bullshit. Look, if I could make decent money being a gigolo, I probably would.
Yeah.
Last time I was here, we were talking about crushing Cheeto dust with my feet.
Yeah, I don't know why people are so freaked out about people, grown adults, being able to make these types of decisions for themselves. It's like, who the fuck are you to tell a person they can't do what they want with their own goddamn body? The whole point of feminists was allow women to do what the fuck they want with their own bodies, right? And now you're saying that victimizes them. No, you're victimizing them because when they do get into prostitution and they decide to do adult, like for example, like pornography like that, they usually make less. Yeah, right. Than the male performers. They all, work more hours. They very shitty conditions for a lot of them. The prostitutes will get 10%, 20% of the overall thing, and the pimp gets 80% rather than having a fair and equitable transition where they get paid pretty much all of it except when it goes to taxes. Why would that not be better for the person?
Women aren't educated enough to be able to do the maths anyway.
Yeah, we ain't talking about you, Chess. You're just a woman. You just sit there and look pretty, okay?
If you legalize prostitution, I'm starting Uber for pimps, where a prostitute can just Uber up a pimp when she needs to be saved. Pimp
Uber a pimp. There you go. Do that. That's brilliant, Billy.
All my buff male friends can sign up and they can go out and slap the shit out of a John who doesn't deliver the money or whatever on demand. Uber for pimps is the future. We need to legalize this. I'm going to run as president, legalize prostitution first, and then spend all my entertainment budget doling out blowjobs.
You could DoorDash a hooker to your house.
Exactly.
Yeah, but think about it. If you had a ride and a blowjob package deal, you would be a multimillionaire.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you could totally have an Uber who has a prostitute that stays in the car with them, and then after every trip you just spray the car down.
Fuck spraying the car down.
And then you could just have sex on your way to the airport.
Forget even spraying the car down. We'll put one of those tops, or what if the doctors put on their beds when they
those sheets.
Yeah, we'll just have one of those on the table. And
and then you can pay the Uber to be like, hey, I want as a jukebox. You just give them like a $5 tip, and you put whatever music you want on.
Yeah, you get like a little get one of those pedo vans, have it tricked out so there's the full bed in the back. You don't have to worry about the seat. You can just have a shaggin' wagon on demand.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we need to legalize prostitution so we can have door-to-door whore.
I like it.
Or a whore to your door in 20 minutes.
Yeah. See, we just live in a world right now where sex is in high demand because most people aren't getting it. They're fucking
The hooker
incel.
can pick up a pizza on the way to your house.
Yeah. It's everything you want. Everything you
pay
need.
for it anyways, no matter what. Look, no, you never have sex for free. You always got to pay for it in one way or another.
Oh God,
that's not true.
Believe me, you pay. There's always going to be some kind of payment due.
Okay, but you're saying that as if it's only the male side.
No, it goes both ways. No,
because somebody has to come out ahead of the game, right? One of the sides has to come out ahead of the game. Even if it's just gas money or an Uber to get them the hell out of your bed.
Yeah, here's $5. Make sure you have a taxi.
But
fare
that's
in the morning.
literally even just for living. You have to whore yourself out. Fuck sex.
Buy him drinks, buy him dinner, going out for movies.
Well, okay, so any relationship is going to be an exchange of some kind, including either emotional or sexual or
every day you wake up, your existence is an exchange of money. Nobody, there's maybe like people out in the woods who have escaped the financial system. It's not just sex. It's when you wake up in the morning, you owe somebody rent, you owe somebody money for the fucking heat, you owe somebody money for cable. Fuck sex. We live in a capitalistic society. We're fucked. You can go out in the woods.
Your phone. I mean, your cell phone. People pay for cell phones. Most of that is for Tinder.
Yeah.
So I think we should probably read some Streamlabs. I saw in the fan chat, I just saw Kayla Rose say that she sent me her first bats the other day. Thank you so much, because that helps out the show a lot. And if any of you are not using the Brave browser, I suggest you try it out. If you use our link, it supports the show. We get a little bit of money in exchange for that. So if you could download it, try it out, use it. Basically, I just ask people to use it while they're watching the stream. And yeah, you'll accrue basic attention tokens. And at the end of each month, if you just send them our way, then that's your way of contributing to the show. Even if you're someone that doesn't have a few extra bucks to spare, you can just spare a couple minutes of your time downloading the app. A lot of people honestly tell me that it's way better than Chrome. That's faster. And people have replaced the YouTube Premium with the Android app. The Brave Android app, because you can do the exact same shit without having to pay for it.
Also, we had a few Streamlabs that didn't get caught in the,
go ahead.
In the thing. We'll have to add them onto the goal for the week. It started off, Rot Feast Tenders said, I thought that was already public knowledge, whatever that was about. I'm sure that was talking about your prostitution ring.
Oh.
Hypothesis says you're supposed to ask Steve, bitch, you want to make some fucking money? But in all honesty, Jared Holiday made Ben seem way cooler. Whoever Jared Holiday is that Jared Genesis's new name?
I don't think so.
Weird.
Yeah, it does make you sound pretty cool, Ben, being a top level prostitution leader.
You know what? That is so fucking punk rock too.
Serving up the velvet pickle outside of a froyo.
There's nothing more punk rock. It's definitely more punk rock than living in your mom's house.
Wow. Don't kink shame people for living in their mom's house. Hypothesis.
Wait, that's a kink?
I think, yeah. I don't know. I used to
The
live in
risk
my
of getting
mom's
caught having sex by your parents.
Yeah. Getting caught having sex alone by your parents. Nobody here but the birds.
Ew.
Hypothesis also said Billy should do an IRL stream to Build-A-Bear. I heard they're selling Snorlax plushes.
Build-A-Bears!
Oh, yeah.
Snorlaxes?
They have Snorlax plushes at the Build-A-Bear? I might have to do that.
Yeah, I'm heading to the Build-A-Bear.
I already have a Snorlax plush, though. I don't need two of them, do I? Maybe.
Oh, I lost Charmander.
Jacob Bartnowski again said, first live show in a while. Take my money, you dirty good boys. Thank you. Pimp Monk said, hello, sweet boys. And Queen Typod gave us that touch up on Justin Trudeau being a drama teacher before. Do you think Justin Trudeau got out of drama because he had to prostitute himself? Like this lady here? Couldn't afford to be a teacher. Had to sell his butt to the Canadian, the Canadian people. Nikki Good said, thank you for all the work you put into the show. I'm staying at the hospital as my 7-year-old battles cancer. And you all provide relief. Love you guys. Nikki, if we're giving you a little bit of relief in that situation, that's a fucking honor. Thank you for
totally
thank you for running to us and taking your mind off of things. That's fucking awesome. Helios575 said the real power in government is split between Congress and the SC. If Trump gets a second term, he will get to place 2 to 3 more to the Supreme Court, which would put him in 4 to 5 of the 9 being
That's
his for probably 30 plus years.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Fake Andrew Yang didn't give us $1,000, so get out of here.
I honestly think that if Trump gets in again, he won't leave. Not really. He won't really be gone.
Well, there's
replace him.
There's some loopholes kind of thing.
There's some loopholes, and he can always set his son up.
What I think will happen is
they said the same thing about Obama. They said the same thing about Bush.
But I didn't. I'm not they.
He could look at. He could. By the way, he's getting old. I mean, how much more terms can he have? Even if there wasn't any term limit. But let's say that he went for a second term, 4 more years. He's going to be 82. Let's say he was then for vice president, and then something magically happens to the president. And the president is no longer able to serve because he's been assassinated or whatever. And then Trump gets another he could actually be president that way again. So it is possible.
There's no term limit on vice president because I couldn't find the official answer on that.
I don't think it's a term limit for vice president, but he could run as a vice president because that's not the same as running president. And if something happens to the president, he then becomes president. You can't be voted into office more than 2 terms for president. But I think you can actually be going from vice president to president from succession, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't see that happening.
I don't think it's happening either. But see, the only reason I think that Trump would want to remain in office is because I think he's scared to death of being indicted if he leaves office.
What if Bernie's vice president was Barack Obama?
I don't even want to go there.
Brock doesn't want to have. He's done.
Yeah. But yeah. What you just said earlier,
Hey,
Steve, is correct. Yeah. If Trump leaves office, it's easier to prosecute him for things.
Yep. I think he knows that too. I think he knows that he will be indicted if he leaves office.
But if let's say Trump does win this next election, he just has to hope a Republican wins to pardon him. In 4 years.
Yes and no. I think that is possible, but the problem is it would be career suicide.
Yeah, I don't think enough of the Republicans like him enough to stick their neck out after the fact. They're all towing line for him for now, but if he's not there, would they bother?
He doesn't toe the line. He was like their worst nightmare.
No, not him. No. Yeah, not him. The party is towing the line for him currently. But if he's not in office, why would they bother to?
They do this kind of stuff for each other all the time. I mean,
I think they'd throw him under the bus.
we had a guy named Scooter Libby who outed a CIA secret agent named Valerie Plame because her husband criticized the Bush administration while she was out on assignment undercover, and they leaked her identity as a spy while she was overseas. And that guy, Scooter Libby, that did that, just got pardoned by Trump within the last few years here. So
that was
they do
retribution.
favors.
That was purely retaliatory by exposing her.
Yeah, and now she's running for Congress in New Mexico.
And what's the benefit to that? What's the benefit there? You're just killing somebody for the pettiness of somebody insulted you or you didn't like what they said about you. What the fuck?
People are petty. Politics is petty. But Trump is a petty person.
To the point of murder. Jesus.
Trump, I think, is capable of many different things. I
believe he's capable of it, but like, how is this benefiting the country?
It doesn't. It has to benefit Trump.
Yeah, how is anything a politician does benefit the country? It's politics has always been about who gets what.
She's Canadian, so I think maybe it's a little bit different. Or maybe it is. You know what, though? I doubt it's really that different.
I don't know. All my Canadian friends are pretty chill, so I think it's nice in Canada.
Yeah, it is nice.
I wouldn't mind living in Canada for the rest of my life.
It's pretty nice there.
I don't want to live in Canada.
I like it. I like Vancouver a lot. I like Vancouver and Toronto a lot.
Yeah.
Both very nice.
I've never been to Vancouver. I'm not far from Toronto, though.
Yeah.
Vancouver is like Seattle, but covered in maple syrup.
I'd like to go see it. I just haven't been able to make my way that direction yet.
Yeah,
it's the best direction.
Got to come out this way. West Coast, best coast. Sorry if anybody disagrees. But
I'm going to play this video. I'm not sure what it is. Hold on. What is this?
There is a chance that Tulsi's not just working for the United States of America, but I digress. So,
oh, wait a minute. What does that mean? That's
no, I firmly.
No.
So this guy throws it out there that Tulsi might be a foreign agent.
He's on CNN. This is CNN. And he's just like, oh, by the way, Tulsi, I'm pretty sure she's a Russian spy. Like, what?
Wasn't she in the military?
I mean...
that's not just an allegation. I firmly believe that.
Message is coming now.
No,
this is Jesse Lee Peterson's son.
Now, I firmly believe that Tulsi Gabbard stands on that stage is the antithesis to what the other 11 individuals stand for, especially when it comes to issues such as foreign policy. There is no question. Yeah. There is no question that Tulsi Gabbard, of all the 12, is a puppet for the Russian government.
That's a pretty heavy allegation.
There's no question. He says there's no question.
This is CNN where they accuse everyone of being a puppet for the Russian government.
Wow. I just saw Shoe on Head tweeted this out. Like, they're just straight up accusing this woman of being a Russian shill.
That's
Now,
so irresponsible.
Is he indemnified by this, or is there any? I mean, can they just throw these types of charges out there without any kind of?
You could do whatever you want on the news these days.
They're gonna get this woman killed.
We used to have to. They might get this woman killed. They used to have
They
to
might
actually.
get her killed. They're gonna ruin her career. This is straight up slander.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just wondering what he has as evidence to substantiate such a charge.
I would have liked to have seen that. Instead, it was just everybody on the panel going, "Ooh, that's crazy. You really think so? Ooh,
Like they're just they're just talking drama. They're just gossiping over tea and biscuits. Like, get the hell, you can't just say that.
Yeah. It was.
I mean, if I accuse Chess of being a Russian spy, don't you think that I kind of should have to give reasons why? I mean, some evidence.
Yeah. Why is Cheshire a Russian spy? Why
Have you
would they
seen her?
send
She
a
looks like
Russian
she's a
spy to
Russian spy. That's not
Saskatoon,
true.
Saskatchewan, or wherever the hell Shesh lives?
He likes vodka. There you go.
Vodka.
Russian spy. Vodka.
It's true.
Listen, all we really need to know is that Steve is a rape apologist.
And you're a gender traitor.
Yep.
As opposed to Ben being a
But we don't know what
vendor.
gender. We don't know what gender she's a traitor to. We don't know.
Yep.
Were you born?
And all we really need to know also is that Ben is a pimp lord.
He's a
Pimp
gender
lord.
vendor. He pimps out his
Gender
own gender.
vendor.
Yeah. He sells his own gender.
At least he's equal opportunity. I mean,
Young Benjamin and the Velvet Pickle making that extra buck.
yeah. I mean, I'm not going to call her comrade or anything, but I think she would respond if I did. I'm just saying.
We all know that Canada is nothing but communism.
Yeah, poor
Communism and
Canada.
maple syrup.
Canada's flag is basically a red communist flag, right, with a little bit of white in there. A little bit of white.
White instead of yellow.
I think nowadays, if you're not labeled some kind of pejorative, you're not doing something right. I mean, because you have to have haters and trolls out there at some degree. I've always said that 80% positive, 20% negative, you kind of have a pretty good balance, because if everybody agreed with you, it would be boring. So those 20% that are just the haters and trolls and the people that are just bitching, you got to have them, and they do a really amazing job throwing out shit material for people to mock. I'm honored when people say shit like I'm a rape apologist, or I'm a bigot, or I'm a transphobe, or because people that know me know this is all bullshit. When they say it's a Chess does the same way. She just laughs it up, because it puts these people in such a negative light that they're using these terms in such a way as a weapon, rather than applying them where they should be applied to people that are transphobic, or are bigoted, or do actual rape apologetics.
Yeah.
So it shows a dichotomy there between what a person who actually has a legitimate complaint against somebody who's just trolling, or what a true bigot it would be like, as opposed to people that are just putting themselves out there in the public, being called these names because nobody has any real good criticism of them. So they're just going to say, "Oh, you're just a bigot if you don't agree with me."
Yeah, and particularly if you're going to be running a show like Non Sequitur, or where you have conversations about controversial topics, people are going to say you shouldn't have this person on. People are going to say you shouldn't be talking about this. People are going to be saying these things, and you want people to be saying those things. Otherwise, you're not really talking about anything controversial if people aren't saying these things. The whole point is that it's controversial. The whole point is to have the discussion.
Well, I mean, and more so though, the people that are using these terms that way, it does act as a dichotomous thing where you can show people. Yeah. So I mean, I'm fine with these idiots doing it, because it only looks bad for them, and we can point out, hey, here are people using these terms in such a pejorative way as a weapon, and it detracts from the people that are actually bigots, because those are the people that I do go after. I will go after the actual people that are racist or bigoted or transphobic, and then we'll have an intellectual way of destroying them, right? There's a huge difference there, and I'm proud to be able to be in a position where I can fight for people that have been bullied.
Don't make claims about people you can't back up.
Well, I mean, you would say that, right? But we live in a world where that's all we do. We live in a post-fact world. Nobody is driven by logic. 15% of people actually are driven by logic, right? 85% of people are driven by emotion. And they will react to this guy saying, Tulsi Russian spy? Steve rape apologist? and they're going to react to these claims, these attacks, these baseless accusations, because it's all the people really care about. Nobody wants to fact check anymore, and nobody's held accountable for fact checking. So why bother?
Facts are irrelevant anymore.
We live in a post-fact society, 100%. That's how.
I'm sorry.
Conspiracy Party
I get
Trump
my
got
facts
voted
from
in.
Reddit. Whichever ones have the most upvotes must be true.
Oh God.
I've had people like argue like this got more upvotes, so that's true. It's like, do you realize I could make like 50 accounts and upvote and downvote whatever I want? I mean,
That's against terms of service, BENPAI. You're breaking terms of service.
Okay.
You
Don't break terms of
scofflaw.
service.
You're such a rebel. Just because you're now a big-time pimp overlord of the trans community sex slave doesn't mean you get to make multiple Reddit accounts, Ben. Don't get all crazy on us.
I do what I want.
I do what I want.
$944.34.
Britney
That
Spears?
was the total outstanding
It does
lunch
look
debt
like
in
her.
all 9 Jupiter area schools.
This is the Berenstain universe, Britney Spears, where she didn't make it big in the music business, and she ended up working for, a local
Fuck making
news
it
station.
big. They made her a ward of the state and put her in control. Her father is in control of her. Did you hear about Britney Spears?
No, I don't give a
It's
shit.
fucked up, dude.
Yeah,
She's
whatever.
not of personal sound mind to make any of her own
So
choices.
she should be dating JF?
Literally, her dad
Oh.
controls who she dates. One of the
Yeah,
most.
leave Brittany alone. Who's this chick? 'Cause she's kind of cute. I want to hear
One
what she
local
has to
man
say.
says that was a modest price to pay to make a big difference in the life of a child.
I went in there and I said, I want to pay off the lunch.
That looks gross
When
as
Andrew
fuck.
learned
Why are
that
we
over
feeding
400
kids that
kids in the
bullshit?
community couldn't get a full meal in their school
Carb
cafeteria.
City.
This looks like a super cheap buffet at some shitty casino.
Fuck a casino. This is like a cheap buffet
At the prison?
At a NAMBLA meetup.
Oh, God. You always go there.
This is gross, dude.
How many NAMBLA meetups have you been to?
I know,
I stopped
I know.
going because of the food.
The Billy doth protest too much all the time when it comes to that thing. I'm kind of like, why is that always on your mind?
Literally,
Billy the fridge.
literally, it was a joke that I didn't even protest. I compared it to a NAMBLA meeting, something gross because of how gross the food looked. I don't think Ben understands how comedy works. That's the problem. I make a joke about NAMBLA, and Ben's like, "Oh, Billy's a pedophile, pedophile."
Sure,
Christ,
jokes.
I was comparing this food to the worst
Sure,
possible thing.
jokes.
Hey, he might be a
He's
pedophile,
just
but at least
mad
he likes
'cause
good
you're
food.
outside of his gender trait.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send Ben to some comedy classes. He'll understand the point
Trying
of
to
that
compete
comment
with
was
Improv.
to be funny.
Improv.
Yeah, you just need to learn a little, Ben. That's all.
Okay, sure.
He felt he had to take action.
These children that were in debt.
I can't get over the carbs.
It's just that I don't recognize your genius. That's it, right?
That's what I said.
were
Yeah.
going to either not
I said you're not
It's
capable.
not that the joke wasn't funny. It's just like, I just don't recognize how good it is.
I
'Cause
make
you
a
just don't
joke.
know.
I
You
make
need
a
to go
joke.
to classes to learn.
No, let's talk about the protest. I make a joke that has absolutely no real connection to pedophilia other than the suggestion of a NAMBLA meeting. And Ben protests saying,
Wait.
"Oh, Billy, go bring up pedophilia again." You're the one
Billy,
protesting, motherfucker.
pedophiles have got to eat too, dude. No,
Yeah,
actually
they can
they
eat-
don't. Let them
they
starve.
can
I
eat
don't care.
school
Whatever.
lunches.
But still.
The
Yeah,
do not feed the
Make me
pedophiles school lunches. Do not feed
Sure,
them
for
what
the
the kids
pedophilia,
eat.
right? Just make them eat school lunches. There you go. Can't get it. No more school kids for you, but you can eat their food.
Oh, there you
or,
go.
they would get just cheese sandwiches. And I thought, that's crazy.
He had no agenda, no children in the district, and no personal connection to the schools. But he knew he could make a difference.
She doesn't dress like a normal news person.
She's in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Like that.
Made it happen.
Food is something that you shouldn't have to think about. Children shouldn't have to learn hungry.
After he paid those bills and brought the families back to zero,
too
Lee
many
posted
carbs.
about it on
Too
Facebook.
many carbs. Too many carbs.
Why do we feed our kids this
Soon
garbage?
hundreds of people.
Pizza is a vegetable.
And
Do
this
you
is the
remember
worst
that?
thing.
Because
Yeah, pizza is a vegetable.
apparently
Exactly.
it's better than what they were getting fed.
Yeah, but where's
is
the
argument here.
proteins? You need
Well,
some
this is-
proteins.
There's pepperoni on the pizza.
That's not that
my
much protein for a
God.
pepperoni.
This is a guy, all right, this is a Florida man. This is why I sent this in, because it said Florida man pays off student lunch debt for 4 schools. Or maybe it was 4 school districts. I'm not even sure.
I almost feel like I'd pay not to eat this food.
This guy paid less than $1,000 so 4 schools or 4 school districts worth of children could eat this shit instead of a cheese sandwich. That's $1,000. $1,000 is the difference between a kid eating this fucking garbage at 4 different schools or districts. I'm not sure the exact breakdown of it versus a fucking a cheese sandwich. It's all garbage, but why does some random Florida man have to come out of his pocket less than $1,000 so a couple of poor kids can have a hot meal they can have hot carbs instead of cold carbs?
I like to know where they get the food from. Like, what company are they paying?
Probably the same people who serve food to the prisons and shit. There's probably one big corporation that's like, our meals are in a box, just add cheese and water.
I mean, that's a good point. Somebody said, I feel like McDonald's is healthier than that shit.
They are
healthy.
Probably is.
Maybe.
Commented
There's more
asking
variety,
if they
at least.
could contribute next time too. And before he knew it, Levy's act of kindness had started a chain reaction across Palm Beach County.
I even have had some clients over the last 48 hours say, you know something, I want.
Look at that.
This is what I was raised
so
on.
what
This
do we got?
All carbs.
A slice of pizza, some mac and cheese, some rice.
Barfaroni, Spanish rice, penne alla pesto.
Yeah,
And
she
a
had
sandwich
cheesy
of some
spaghetti.
sort?
It's like a burger with cut in half. It's a chicken burger cut in half with relish and a cum, I think.
Help I want to give to. Every quarter, I'm going to do either a GoFundMe page or a fundraising page that can raise money every quarter so lunch debt never accumulates.
So now they have basically a GoFundMe for all of the schools.
So kids can eat a hot garbage instead of cold garbage. This is so fucked up.
It's that was some shit.
They would be better off just buying from the grocery store. Why isn't the grocery store the one that they're going to for this? Why
I
would they
used
go
to
to a
pack lunches.
corporation?
I almost never bought the food at school.
What are kids going to eat that is healthier than this that's similar priced, right? Stop giving them fucking these baseless bread carb bullshit. Will kids eat salad? They won't, will they?
Well, it's. I guess it's just trying to get your stomach full, right? Because
it's all carbs.
It's all carbs, which make you feel fuller than.
I guess they're growing kids too, so like carbs have more application in their bodies. But
yeah, it's not like they're gonna live on this shit. It's just to get them through the school day.
Yeah, they have a way higher metabolism. Well, I mean,
way higher metabolism.
Most of them do, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's also something
they
to be
burn
said
a lot
there.
of
I mean, I saw an olive on the pizza.
Oh my god.
An olive.
Yeah, that's like when they were trying to say
olive.
pizza's a vegetable because it has tomato sauce on it.
do you think gruel would be healthier than this?
I don't know what gruel actually is.
It's always like the pizza. Can I have some
Yeah,
more?
I know what it is. I don't know what it's made out of though.
Wouldn't they be best off making some kind of like big ass stew?
That's what I was thinking.
Hobo
And
stew.
technically, a tomato is a fruit, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Big ass stew and potatoes.
It's fruit,
That's
so it's actually
carbs, that's vegetables, that's meat, and it's all in one big ass pot. And it's just
Yeah.
like, here you go, gumbo.
We're gonna
With
move
some
on
celery.
into the crazy. I'll speed it up.
You could have compared the food to prison food or emergency race rations. Stop acting like a NAMBLA beat up was the only comparison you could have made.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He always goes there. It's always, all roads lead to pedophilia in Billy's repertoire.
It's because it's funnier than a prison food. That's prison food.
What
yeah,
is
no,
the
it is.
deal with prison food?
And we
It's
can't
worse
just
than pedophilia.
we can't just forget that NAMBLA existed and was endorsed by the LGBTQ community up until 1994. We can't just forget this shit. It's a part of our history. Do a rhyme about Florida, man? Oh, not for $2.
Yeah. Not for $2. Yeah, you could set like a lofty goal up in the actual bar up at the top, like maybe if we hit 50%.
Florida man bars.
The show's only got like a half hour left anyway. And we're going to Twitch tonight. The post show is on Twitch tonight. We're going to be doing some fun stuff over there. Twitch.tv/drunkenpeasants if you want to check out tonight's post show. Well, Billy and I will be doing that over there.
Pedophilia is funny now? No, NAMBLA is funny. South Park did a NAMBLA episode. We're not like, whoa, South Park's hung up on pedophiles.
Yeah, but what if every South Park episode was about it?
Half the time I reference any sort of pedo shit, it's brought up by you.
Oh, listen to this projection.
I'm sorry. And then you call me out for it, and we talk about it for an hour and a half longer than if you just would have been like, oh,
is this the
shitty joke and
Cinerama?
moved
Because
on.
we're just, there's so much projection in this
This is
room.
projection. I could have just moved on from this and not even responded to it. Instead, we spent 45 minutes talking about it because Billy's a stinky pedo. All right, Ben.
No, I think you're a pedo apologist, actually.
That's even better. Okay, here we
Oh God, no, not this girl again.
You know who she is?
Hey guys,
Yes.
it's Megan. Welcome back to my channel. Today,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
video is going to be about
I like
how
that back camera going on. More people should take advantage of back camera. Can we get some mirrors behind me so people can see my ass?
Yeah, you can wear some like low-rise jeans with the little booty
Yeah.
crack. All right. So in this video, she's going to talk about how she got her virginity back. She got she regrew
She's
her hymen.
Brilliant. I want to hear. I really want to hear her expertise because she's just so imaginative and
she just
brilliant
looks
at the genius
smart.
level.
regained
Looks
my
brilliant.
virginity using subliminal messaging. I know most of you clicking this video might be confused. Probably about half of you think I sound foolish, but for the next 10 minutes, just listen to what I have to say. First, let me say there's nothing wrong with not being a virgin if you live in a Western society. But in most cultures in the world, it is frowned upon for a woman to be defiled before marriage. If you don't know what subliminal audio is, it's audio that sounds normal, but it has subconscious messages in it.
Where the fuck
These
is
are
she going
called
with this?
I have no
sub-audible
idea.
messages.
How does this have to do with her re-virginizing herself?
You just have to listen for 10
Yeah,
minutes.
you gotta
I'm
listen.
Sure we'll
Let the
figure it
woman
out.
speak.
Okay, sorry.
These messages are usually slightly out of hearing range, so only your subconscious mind can pick up on them. The sub-audible messages are usually inserted into music, so you can just relax, kick your feet up, and listen to music while your subconscious mind picks up on them.
I wanna
Now
believe
that I've
she's a troll.
explained subliminal
So she
messaging,
regained her
let-
virginity by listening to music?
Let me explain how I regained my virginity.
See, she made a video. Do you remember? She made a video about how she made her boobs grow, and I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah.
similar.
Yeah.
He believes
Yeah.
this shit. I don't think she's a troll. She thinks she willed herself to make her boobs bigger. Well, I think it was puberty, but whatever.
Using subliminal messaging. There are two key aspects to regaining virginity that I use subliminal audio for. The first being hymen regrowth, the second being mental purification. I'm going to focus on both of
Yeah, the first one is the miraculous one. That's the weird one.
What am I gonna listen to grow a hymen?
First of all, let's just say you did grow a hymen back. How does that make you no longer a virgin? You still had sex. You
these.
still
that's
were
the
penetrating.
mental.
Let's start
You
with
could
the
break- you could
mental
break a hymen riding a
purification
horse.
process. In order for you to regain your virginity using subliminal
No,
messaging, you need to mentally purify
I want to hear the other
yourself.
part,
This
right?
You
is
don't want the
centered on
mental
fact-
purification?
Yeah, should I skip to the part that's actually interesting?
I mean, for scientific
Assume that
purposes,
at
I
least
suppose.
one of
Can we're all just gonna go ahead and agree and say the mental purification part of it is lying to yourself to forget that you had sex before.
I guess. Well, I mean, do you guys think she is a troll? She's a brilliant actress. Then I gotta tell you, because
I
I
don't
think
think
she really
she's a
does believe this.
troll. I think
I could be completely wrong, but I don't think she sounds like a troll. I think she really does sound like somebody who believes this. And if she's not, then she needs to go into become
Red
an actor.
Eye makes a good point. Will that work on your? Will you be able to regrow your foreskin if you're a guy?
Let's find out.
We'll
Let's
have to
try it.
see,
Let's
yeah.
Ben, I'm sending you some positive thoughts. Wait, are you Jewish? I don't know. I mean, do you have any?
I'm cut.
Yeah. Well,
Hat or
I
no
know.
hat? It's hat
you
or
know.
no hat.
Ben, think of my penis and send me some well wishes and some thoughts and some healing stuff. Getting it. I'm feeling.
Steve, you're
It's
cut.
doing something, man. It's doing something. I don't know
reasonable
what,
to
but it's doing
take this
something.
likely possibility into consideration if you are not planning on being defiled by your fiance until after you are married. Now, some of you may be thinking, why does it matter if my
So many
husband is
jump
not
cuts.
a better sexual performer than some of the men I've slept with? Sex is a substantial variable to a happy marriage. It is biologically human nature for a woman to desire a man who is best performing in the bedroom. This is because it will increase the number of orgasms she will experience. performance, and it will increase the likelihood of her getting pregnant. That means if your husband is a worse sexual performer than even just one man that you've slept with in the past, you will know that there is something better or bigger out there, which will most likely lead you to the
That was kind of trolly, right? But I don't think she's a troll.
unsatisfied with your sex life and make you lust for more. Take a look at these statistics published by the Institute for Family Studies. With a sample of N equals 273, there's a positive correlation with percentage chance of divorce and number of sexual partners for women. These modern statistics show that if you were a virgin before marriage, there's only a 5% chance you'll get divorced.
Because women who are fucking conditioned to think that their virginity is special are more conditioned to stick with a fucking shitty relationship.
It's true.
Yeah, especially particularly if they're like still part of the church and divorce is so frowned upon.
Yeah. I can't get a divorce no matter how bad he is in bed and how much he fucking hits me. I'm devoted for life through God, Jesus Christ.
I want to know how she grows this. Oh, here it is. Here it is.
There you go.
In order to understand how your body can physically regrow your hymen, you will need
Just
to have
spackle your clitoris with the same stuff they put on chia pets. The natural wetness will allow it to grow and reestablish your hymen like a lush forest.
understanding of what subliminals and your subconscious are. Your subconscious is on a different realm than your conscious mind. Subaudible messages program your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind needs to be programmed first in order for your body to make physical changes to itself. Subaudible messaging can program your mind and then body to regenerate the cells responsible for making up your hymen. Once your hymen is regenerated and your mind becomes mentally pure again, your outlook on love, your connections with other people, and life in general will change drastically. I just want to repeat again that regaining virginity is not for everyone. If you are a woman...
Wait, do we get evidence for this? I have to see evidence for this. Does she like... You know, I mean, even if it doesn't work, I still want to see evidence. Even if it doesn't work.
I think that this woman needs to be cast for technobabble speak in Star Trek.
She's trying to do smart talk. Don't hate.
Feel offended. I apologize and want to make it clear that promiscuity and fornication are personal choices, and it's your right to treat your body, mind, and soul however you want. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope some of you can check out the links to the subliminal
I like how she saved the hymen regrowth for the end, and it was very brief.
I wonder what the links to subliminals are. Like, is it just like a recording of her saying, "Yep, your hymen's
It's whale sounds.
Yeah, there's whale sounds, and her saying, "Your hymen's gonna grow back."
It reminds me of The Secret. You know, it's like,
yeah, the universe does what you will.
Right.
Thanos is gonna snap.
Well, I
your
guarantee
hymen
a lot
back
of
into place.
guys watching this were thinking about her hymen the entire time. So
You know what? That didn't come to mind once for me. Something's wrong.
I don't think you know what a hymen is, Billy.
It's Paul Hyman. He's the Brock Lesnar's manager in WWE, right?
I'll still be rhyming while I'm in your hymen.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, smiley face. Send
All
that
right.
bitch a smiley
Here's,
face. Bitches love smiley faces.
They do.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Speak of the devil. This one's a little different than what we're used to.
episode, members of Team Awakening use the Lightworkers Healing Method session to deliver messages
I like
from
how it has
Ground Zero.
I like how it has a prologue, like it's Star Wars or something. They should
Yeah.
have it crawl.
It should, yeah. The presence is in much higher dimensions. When we ask higher powers to show us who the messages are for, we're shown a series of doors. Each door reveals a presence in a much higher dimension. These souls' messages have been accumulating in the energy of the Search for Truth community, but the reason is unclear. Why are we getting their mail?
That's true.
I think that's valid.
Yeah, I really think that's the
I want
important
to
question.
know
I think
how-
that's the question we need to
right.
ask is
Look at
How
how
are we involved?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
How are we involved? How are we involved? How are we involved?
It's true.
Well, what this feeling could be.
I like how she's like, fuck this, I'm just gonna lay down and relax.
Messages are for.
Mom's tired. Mom's
Really don't want to
Oh.
receive them. and so they're smooshing them down.
If the head is up, is it like an antenna? Is that what it's supposed to do?
I assume that's what it is.
So.
Smaller, and everyone just keeps.
Oh, mom's
smooshing
dead.
them down.
Okay.
R.I.P. in peace.
This is the corpse
Smaller,
of her
layer
mom.
by layer by layer until it gets to the first.
She's almost ASMR. Her voice is so soft.
Almost, yeah.
Presence in the chain who's willing to look at it.
Those biceps aren't
And
soft.
maybe this is the first layer of the
She's got
chain
guns.
that's willing to
She
look
does.
at it.
I think her and JF would make a cute couple.
That could be.
Oh my
Because
God.
everything just shifted.
I don't have a better guess, and now the head is kind of open again.
How great would JF be if he just had a girl behind him saying it's true instead of all the shit
Right?
his girl actually says? It's true.
Did you see the crazy thing with JF's girlfriend? The thing she was talking
What
about?
she was talking? What was she talking about, Ben? What was she talking
I'm
about?
not even going to mention it.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I don't know what she was talking about.
I didn't say I was going to play it. I was just
yeah,
asking.
no, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm unfamiliar.
It sounds like you knew exactly what.
Oh no, because I wouldn't bring up something that she talked about behind JF.
Which is
okay.
Because we
not
can't
a
talk
great
about something on this show
sign,
without
because
being
those
accused of
presences
being
are
whatever we
much,
talk
much
about.
Higher dimension. There
I'm
are
glad
a
we
lot
cleared
of
that up. Thank you.
Of course.
dimensions.
We watched it on the
So I
show.
had to go a long way down.
Watch
to get
what?
Here.
The clip of her talking about what she was talking about.
What was she talking about?
Being dating a pedophile, which you just brought up.
I didn't read what. I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
I don't really know about this.
When Billy does it, he's the
you know.
fucking Satan's stepchild. When Ben does it, well, I'm just, what do you?
I don't even know what's going on.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Ben didn't say anything about it. He just kind of threw it out there. I think you kind of ran with
Because he
it.
started talking about it, and I called him out on
I'm
how
glad
easy
I'm not the only one that sees
how
this.
easy it is to bring
I
up
get
pedophilia in this day and age. Because we have goddamn Jeffrey Epstein in every other segment. We got goddamn Jared from Subway and Jared from Genesis. They're with Pro Jared. We have a fucking trial of Jared.
No, leave Pro Jared out of that. He's
Pro Jared got accused of it.
accused.
Yeah, so accusations bring a part of our public discussion. But I make a NAMBLA joke knowing damn well 25 years
now we're
ago.
going back to this.
Knowing 25 years ago, NAMBLA was endorsed by the LGBT, which is currently a big talking discussion in our current media.
Somebody's butthurt.
I'm
But
not
Billy,
butthurt, man.
here's a true connection. We had one of the biggest pedophiles of all time, one of the biggest UK pedophiles in our community that just got arrested recently.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't know Billy was from the UK.
Was it Gary Glitter?
No, Matt Bell.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
Did Matt Dillahunty's
really?
wife try and bang him?
You didn't hear about the guy in the UK, his name's Matt Bell, that was paying like £1.70 or something to have underage Filipino girls get raped?
Oh, God, really?
No.
Yes, and he was in the Great
shit.
Debate community. He was a member of the tangential communities too. He was an asshole. He was a theist, but nobody really liked him. They call him Bellend. I'm sure Scotsman Matt is another name for him. You guys, I know you've seen him. You would recognize his voice, but he was somebody in the communities that was an actual pedophile. So you just never know.
Billy's like, holy fuck, how'd I miss this one?
That's what I'm wondering. How Billy doesn't. Yeah, I mean,
I know.
The first time I ever ran into Matt Bell was actually on G-Man's Hangout with Paul's Ego at the same time. So I mean,
God.
Well, to be fair, I'm not really in the skeptic community. I'm in the shit talk community. They just tend to overlap.
That's kind of what. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm into.
They tend to overlap.
Pedo apologist.
I mean, I don't apologize
They're
for them.
pedos, but they gotta eat, and pedos need to eat some good food.
I'm a keto-phile.
Carbohydrate loaded.
It wasn't about pedo. It was about keto. There's too many carbs.
Keto for pedos.
Yeah. I'm over here talking about low carb, not low IQ.
They might be
Very low
pedophiles. They
IQ.
need to eat healthy.
You know what? I've got a few of these lined up, so we'll do these.
Do we get high billies anymore?
Not for a little while. All right, here's the first troll or not a troll.
Hi, Ken.
Suck it.
This is a Drunken Peasants fan.
That was just a picture of my motherfucking damn stepdad.
Yep.
He'd be like, all drunk and shit.
Doesn't this guy do a
all
competing podcast?
Fat and bald. Telling me.
Like every TV fan rolled into one. This is like the aggregate. All your fans.
This is a troll. There's no way. Not after that
troll,
sound.
dude.
Not after that sound.
What do you think, Billy?
Enunciating is too forced. I'm gonna go troll.
When we
Not that
go
troll,
in this house,
Yeah, he's not real.
it ain't all about you. Behave yourself.
Like, there's no way his mom's pussy is good enough to hold down a stepdad with this kid living in the house, right? There's no way a stepdad sticks around with this man-child in his fucking basement. This kid's going off to live in the streets or boot camp, whatever it is. No, if that mom's pussy's half as good, he's kicking the fucking kids out.
No, this is not college engineer. This guy's making at least some sense.
Oh.
Don't touch nothing. Don't breathe.
All right, so everyone says troll.
Yeah.
We will skip this one. Troll.
I'm just saying, there's no way his mom's pussy is good enough for him to have a stepdad.
Here's another one.
Hello, people.
So the hair on that guy's head went down to this guy's chest. That's the only change between the two.
Misa have a question for anybody.
Okay, Jar Jar
anybody
Binks.
that
He
can
talks
help
like Jar
me
Jar Binks. Misa.
out there.
Is this guy part
and I ran
pirate?
into a difficult problem. Been
This is the stepdad.
sitting around here wondering where I'm gonna be able to get my next pack of cigarettes or whatever I may need. Or
Not
Why
a
is he
troll, by
pl-
the way, but
he's playing
I
with his
like
hamburger.
He's working it. He's like,
Yeah.
I need to smoke.
there was a person that we were living with, that we are
You
living
have
with.
long hair and a bit of a beard, complain about his stepdad.
Yeah, no shit. This is a two-parter.
That
This is the
left to
stepdad.
go to the
He'd fuck
Oh,
that
it's the
guy's
mom.
mom.
insane
Yeah, he'd
asylum
fuck that guy's mom.
temporarily to clear his head or do whatever. I don't know. We previously asked him to leave us some cigarettes before he left.
I'm 100% sure this is the stepdad. 100%. It only makes sense now.
He's not going anywhere. I'm just saying, not a troll. I think this just sounds.
I think he's real too.
Yeah, I think he's an
I
idiot.
don't think he's a troll.
What say you?
I want to see a little more of this.
And he took all 3 cartons with him.
Look at those fucking
Or
blinds
should I say
behind him.
3
He's
and a
living in
half.
an RV.
Yep.
And he's tore the blinds
Knowing
up.
full well that he's only going to be in there for a couple days. They're only going to keep him in there for a couple days. So
He's high as fuck or something, man. His eyelids are like.
So my question is, like, let's get right to the point. I was just going to see if y'all,
Yeah, he's got that glaze. It's probably crystal meth.
one of y'all would find it in your heart, or 2 or 3 of y'all, or anybody who can make a donation.
All right. Yes, not a troll.
Not a troll.
Yeah,
he's
he's just
trying to
high.
get paid.
I think he's on meth, and he just really wants to smoke.
That guy's a gross boy.
What else do we have? I have. Oh, this is weird. This is some weird shit. Look at this. Possessed by a curse, going back 16 generations, Heather exhibits a mocking spirit that even the Reverend Bob Larson, the real exorcist, finds difficult to control.
Bob Larson? I love Bob Larson. He's the best exorcist of all time.
Get up. How many generations? How many generations? How many generations? How many generations? 15!
This is terribly hot.
I think.
Did you guys?
I think.
Did you guys see the atheist that went on Bob Larson's thing and
No.
and punked him? There was 2 atheists that went on and did this whole 9 thing, and the atheist was just doing the whole spiritual thing. And what they played it up for a long time before they finally came out and said, "Hey, you know what? We're atheists. We bullshitted. It was yeah. So go look it up as two atheist punk Larson or something.
Yeah, but like we all know that this is all bullshit. Subscribed to by people who are willing.
We do, but there's people that
Somebody in the chat said she's regrowing her hymen.
I think this woman performed in one of Egghead's dad's movies.
Ah.
How did her ancestors get to India?
Suck a cock.
Whatever that means, I rebuke it in Jesus' name. Typical Jezebel.
You slap her with that Bible.
This is just foreplay,
Get her
isn't it?
harder.
Is Jezebel like
Shay! Chateau!
the blood of Jesus, the cross of Christ, and the oil of the Spirit on you?
All exorcists were people going to like brainwash the girls that go around saying, "Daddy fucked me."
Well, sometimes
I'm sure she could fuck a demon out of you.
But no, like that's what exorcism was, right? Because all the Catholic priests that would rape the kids.
I mean,
and stuff?
sometimes people thought people were possessed when they just had like epilepsy or something like that. But yeah,
it's
I
just
mean,
straight up
there's
stuff fake. I mean, it's just people faking.
So there are people who essentially get so caught up in it. Like you see it with like the people who are into chi and stuff. They're so caught up in the group and that this is they're so they trick themselves into thinking it's so real that they think this is real.
Egghead took me totally seriously. He's like, she wasn't in one of those movies.
I recognized her from the beginning. Egghead knows all the hot girls that came in the
I
film.
really do. He's just so I don't know.
Egghead's
adorable.
our sweet boy.
Yeah,
he's the sweet boy's sweet boy.
Hi, Heather.
Break the curses
Break the curse
of my ancestors.
of my ancestors.
Did they go to like the local repertoire theater to find her?
Bite his hand!
I want to get her drunk. I want to see how that works out.
The curse of
Bite his
my
Not at parties.
No consent.
You get out of the way. You get
God,
out
he
of the
wants
way.
her. Those eyes. They just want each other so bad.
Look at her lick her lips. This is
I
This
know.
is
That's
trouble.
what I'm saying. She has that "I want you" look.
He likes
There's a old
it.
man standing behind her. He's
This
just
is
like,
foreplay, yeah.
Really?
To whom does her spirit belong?
Oh, Lotte.
Did he just slap her ass?
I think he grabbed her by the ass.
Good.
What the
cupped them
fuck
buns.
was that?
He cupped them buns.
Hold on.
Pretty sure he met this girl at a sex club. Was like, I need you to come in front of all my parishioners so I can basically molest you in front of them. That's what I'm really into.
Oh,
He grabbed her butt cheeks, dude.
yeah, that's an ass slap.
It's an ass slap.
This is
To whom does her spirit belong?
I have fought too hard.
Well,
I am not
yes, you
letting
are.
go.
Well, you are letting go.
No.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm
Not
not.
letting go of that ass.
She doesn't want you. You gotta leave.
Speak for Jesus.
Do you have a legal right to be there?
this is just some dumb role play shit.
Legal right?
A
Like, I made
legal
deal with
right?
God and I'm paying him rent.
Do
This is not
demonic
troll or not troll. It's neither. It's just
Yeah.
she's just an actress.
do demonic spirits follow the law?
Oh shit, you're right. I didn't get my permit. I'll leave her buddy now, but I'll come back with a permit.
My bad.
What the fuck? Everyone, if you're watching right now, please like the stream. This is the only time we've asked that during this stream. So if all...
I said nobody listened to me.
Oh, did
'cause
you?
I
Yeah,
did. I do
so
every show.
613 of you, if you can all like the stream, that'd be
A
great.
legal right, yes or no?
Do it now.
Well, if you did, you'd be telling me, Jezebel, and you know it. So does child of God. So to this child of God.
To this child.
Of God.
God.
More pedo shit. God damn it.
So we lift the curse. We lift the curse. Say it. We lift the curse.
We lit the gates.
He's not even using any Latin.
A fire and death.
Somebody call the Winchesters.
This is
What
just
a
like
really
some daddy
shitty
dom
actress.
brat role play with a little bit of religion infused as like a role play narrative.
I love this.
These
This
two
is
have
a
had sex.
screenshot.
There's no. If I would bet $1,000 these two have probably had sex.
I bet you they met at a sex club. And he's like, "Oh, you want to see some real shit that's gonna turn you on? I want you to come in tomorrow. I want you to role play in front of my entire parishioner, all my parishioners. I don't know if that's the word, whatever the fuck it is. In front of all my people, I'm gonna fucking make you look like a little demon slut, I'm gonna slap your ass in front of him. I'm gonna put my fingers all over your body, and then afterwards, I'm gonna take you in the back room, and me and my fucking old men friends are just gonna gang bang you.
Were you there when that happened or something?
Yeah.
Very good.
Describe it.
Dude, I've been to a few of
recording
these.
of it going on.
I've been to a few of these. You think I just
Clearly.
hung out with Onision for his personality?
Oh my God!
Christ. Is he holding her head down with the Bible?
Yeah.
Cute.
Smack her ass with the Bible.
Get it, Jezebel. Say, Jezebel, say we lift the curse. Say we lift the curse. Say it.
Ah, we let the curse
On her.
on her!
Future generations.
Future generation!
Lift it now. Lift it. Lift it. Lift it. Lift it. Go all the way back. All 16 generations. Lift it. Lift it.
Deeper, deeper, deeper.
We all go.
Like any good Dom session, it's going to end with some
Christian
aftercare.
larping.
Yeah.
What
It's
do you
going
think
to end
the
with
safe
some
word is?
aftercare. He's going to give her some water and some pets.
Yeah.
This is so fucking
Aftercare.
predictable.
awesome.
Yeah.
I bet the safe word is Ray Comfort. That's what I'm gonna guess.
Banana.
The safe word is, hey, stop. This is fucked up. No, instead we're going to use a word like banana.
Banana.
Yeah, this is the weirdest kink role playing thing I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, is this going to be allowed to be shown on YouTube?
Probably.
Yeah, this is fine.
Is
Just
gross.
slap on the ass. Come on.
Oh my God. Yes.
Hey, you made her scream.
Oh, maybe we should exercise me. We have an exorcism for episode 666.
You need one.
Yeah.
Get possessed by the demon that you summon with the Ouija board.
Yeah, we're gonna start.
you're gonna do
start the episode summoning a demon into me, and
You're
we're
gonna
gonna
be
end it with me being
exercising?
exercised live on the show.
You're gonna be exercising.
No,
on
I
episode?
want to be
So
exercised.
we're gonna put you on the treadmill.
I don't want that.
You're gonna be
That would
exercising.
make any demon leave him. Yes.
Sweat the demon out.
No.
Push-ups,
So
sit-ups.
Is she gonna be
No.
okay? Does she walk away happy? Does
We
she
gotta
like
see how this ends. Yeah.
Burpees.
He's slapping her face with the book like it was his cock.
Say it with conviction.
Tell me this isn't some fucking Dom shit. Say it with conviction, you fucking slut. Say it. Say
I
it
need
with
a hand
conviction.
check on his other hand.
Yeah.
Look at this shit. And then there's those guys like holding
Those
her.
gripping daddies.
They're watching.
Yeah, dude.
I bet he's got a rager. That's why
Oh,
the
yeah.
camera's up so high.
He's got the Bible there. Oh God, yeah. This is the Bukkake scene. This is so fucked, dude. Here's the
There's
aftercare,
the money
the
shot.
hug,
There's the money
the
shot.
water.
Yeah.
This is 100% Dom shit.
And then they all come out and take a curtain call.
Yeah, this is BDSM in front of
Now the cuddling.
Christians.
This is cuddling afterwards.
Yes, 100%. This was a public BDSM session disguised as an exorcism. He's like, yeah, baby girl. That's right, honey.
Special about that.
He's get the fuck away from me, Frank. This is my bitch.
That is Jezebel so.
I'm working my magic here.
Just does not. And she's been filled with a hatred for men. And you know who's hugging me right now? That little, that
Oh,
little
this is
minor
such a
girl.
Dom.
She's been filled with a lot of things. Man.
Yeah, this is sexual 100%. They came into this ready to do this in front of these people.
Did you see her face right there for a second? Yo, put
This
that
is
back by
role-playing.
like just a couple of seconds. Look at her face. She's just like,
This for you.
Jesus Christ, my Lord. Redeemer.
She's acting. She's an actor.
Fuck acting.
yeah.
100%. 100%. This was sexual role play in front of a crowd. The crowd probably wasn't knowing they were watching a
Consenting?
sexual role play. The crowd wasn't consenting, but these two 100% were. He found her at a fucking club, a Dom club. Like, oh, you know what would really turn you on? You know what really? I do exorcisms. Like, is that real? Fuck no, it ain't real. But when you pretend that you're exorcised and I dominate the shit out of that spirit inside of you, your little pussy's gonna tingle. You're gonna love every minute of it, baby. You're gonna, and that's what they fucking did. She was consenting the whole time. That's what this was. It's 100% role playing. 100%. Everybody there watching is unknowingly part of a sexual session right here.
Probably the two guys that were holding her too also didn't know.
No, they didn't
They probably
know.
felt violated.
Those guys those guys might know. They might be the ones that hold the girls down for the actual session afterwards when they do
Later,
the torrent, the gangbang. They may or may not be in on it.
They
But
hold her-
100%.
Wait,
This
if they're holding her down, that might have like legal issues.
I don't know that whole that whole ass slap. The one guy looked too surprised to have been in on it. I think.
I mean, fuck legal issues. This sumbitch mid-domination brought up legal issues to a demon. He knows about legal issues. He knows.
He knows.
Did you pay your rent? Did you pay your rent?
Yeah.
What kind of demon are you that doesn't pay rent?
Oh shit! I gotta unfreeze Steve. Pretty soon here, we should probably go to the post show.
I'll issue you a warrant, demon. Exactly. What the fuck?
Dude,
this
You're being evicted.
This was beyond strange.
Wow.
I'm telling you, Ben, you've got to find the this guy Larson with the atheist that did the
Yeah.
whole shtick, and it was brilliant.
Yeah,
It's
I'll
out
have to-
there.
Okay.
Just
You
totally
can-
bunked him.
You can send it to me or something if you know where it is. Or
I might be able to find it. Give me a sec.
100%. This guy.
I mean, you
goes
can
to
even
sex
send it to me,
clubs.
like, and I'll play it next time or something.
This guy goes to sex clubs. He found this girl at a sex club. I'm convinced of it.
I think that's making a lot of assumptions, but you know,
Sherlock Holmes made a lot of assumptions.
you're not. Sherlock Holmes, first of all, wasn't real.
Yeah.
And second of all, that's Sherlock Holmes. A
Yeah,
detective.
I'm like Sherlock Holmes.
You're not.
Yeah. I'm Ziploc Holmes.
I don't think
Well,
Sherlock Holmes is using assumptions. He was using deductive reasoning.
That's all this
Thank
is.
you.
This is deductive reasoning.
Look, he's like, yeah, what it is isn't what I just said it was. It's the thing you just said
If you
it
want
had
me
to
to
be.
spell it out for you, if you want me to do the fucking equations, if you want me to carry the remainders and put all the numbers out,
Listen to the obfuscation.
it looks
in
like
everything he
assumptions to
says.
you the same way Sherlock Holmes would look like assumptions to you. Because I haven't got to the part where I spelled out every single situation in here that implicates guilt on this man's fucking face.
I
could
found
do
the
that.
video, but it's private now. But I sent you the article on it on Pathos. But
Yes.
there might be some mirrors around of it.
If you rewatch this, there's a lot of logical deductions I made through my process. Ziploc Holmes over here.
I think it was just assumptions.
What you think and what I know are two different things.
Okay. All right. Sure thing, buddy. Sure thing. All right.
Just stick with your pedo. Just stick with your pedo stuff, Billy. It's always a winner.
It's such a roast Billy night.
Ad hominems. It's all you guys got. I never attack
If it
any
makes
of
you
you.
feel any better,
I bring
if it makes you feel
100%.
better.
I just bring 100% observations to this show. I'm the one being attacked all the time. And I
If it
never
makes you
attack.
feel any better, you got to be president.
Thank you.
And a pedo apologist.
Yeah,
He does the same thing when he loses in Tetris. It's like, Billy, I thought you were good at Tetris. And when he lost, he's like, got attacked.
Your controller's broke.
I got attacked.
Yeah, there's extenuating
For
circumstances.
everything. And Billy will like read a situation, like he'll spend 5 minutes on a situation, and be like, "This is what's going on. I know it. I'm convinced. I know it.
It's my deductive reasoning, dude.
Because it's my deductive reasoning. Because I'm good at deductive reasoning, and it's never wrong.
You have a modern day Sherlock Holmes in your presence, and you want to talk him
My
down all
dad
the time.
works for Nintendo.
Hey,
Really?
Nintendo's out here.
Yeah, the Nintendo headquarters is right over here.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I live at Nintendo.
All right,
Next door to
fuck
Ben's
this.
Froyo.
All right. Good night, everybody. Go to
Thank you. This is fun again.
twitch.tv/drunkenpeasants.
And go find Steve and Shesh on it's the Non
Caffeine
Sequitur
Corner.
Show is back, right?
No, we're doing
Oh, it's
Caffeine
not.
Corner on my
Okay.
channel.
Okay.
She's my co-host for that, and then we're going to be doing the Non Sequitur once I get that back. She'll be on
Okay.
there, so
It's coming back, and then you got the Caffeine Corner going. They're lovely guests on our show, so you know damn well their show is worth checking out if you haven't already checked it out.
Yes.
That's true.
That's true.
I froze.
See you guys next time.
Good
Good
place to
night,
breathe on.
everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
In the beginning, there was nothing, and then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken peasants. Drunken peasants. Drunken peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready cause they're gonna kick your Drunken peasants. Drunken peasants. Drunken peasants. Drunken peasants.